Hello and welcome to another episode of the Placeholder NPCs podcast, where we play various tabletop role-playing games, of which we will occasionally get the rules incorrect and toe the edge of a complete TPK. This episode will be continuing our Deep Space homebrew campaign of Dark Cosmos, and will follow the story of 3 spacefaring scoundrels as they rise up to rebel against the controlling factions. This campaign uses the Scum and Villainy system, a Forged in the Dark role-playing game produced by Evil Hat Productions in association with Off Guard Games. You can find out more by visiting their websites evilhat.com and offguardgames.com respectively. And returning to the table are my placeholder NPCs, starting off with Dush.
Oh, I was taking a drink. Hi everyone, I'm Dush. I play the mystic Arc Ferris, who goes by the call sign Rook. As described last session, I look like a large, roughly 8-foot, very fluffy, furred polar bear, a bit of a humanoid species known as the Yuguar. And all I've known in my life thus far before we all got together was effectively a life of a labourer, toiling away on a slave planet day in, day out, until one day I just started to see spots in my visions, things like that, and started to really see the weave of reality as it was, this beautiful, alluring power known as the Way, or the Way. That's how I became the Mystic. And then effectively eager to start entangling myself more with the mystic powers of the universe, and to seek out more answers and find out more about it, really. I found myself reaching out to the Resistance, and meeting the many people who I fly with these days.
And one of those people that you tend to fly with mostly is Lex.
Oh no, I was drinking. Oh no. Hi guys, I'm Lex and I play Voel Burung. I'm our trusty pilot. I'm an Avali, a dinosaur person, and I go by the call sign Demon. Coming from a military family from within the Concordat, which is basically the main ruling organization, of the universe, I grew disillusioned with their manipulation of basically entire worlds, just to keep them in line. And so I joined the Resistance to kind of fight back against that and try and liberate those that I had pretty much unwittingly helped keep down.
Lastly, to round out the table, we've got Sam.
Oh shit, sorry, I was helping Lex with his drink. Alright, Howdy, I'm Sam, and I play Algernon Kentucky Blue, the Stitch, medic of the Coyfish. Kentucky is a tall, slim, bespectacled gentleman, dressed in professional attire complete with sweater vest. Putting his checkered past behind him, he finds excitement, wonder, and even comfort in acquiring and studying precursor artifacts, seemingly at nearly any cost.
And lastly, my name is Xeno, and I'll be the game master for this campaign, here to adjudicate the rules and make sure this lot don't drown in the process. Alright gentlemen, how are we feeling about this upcoming session?
I am keen.
Feeling pretty good.
I feel like we've already lost our focus, so...
We had focus?
Yeah, excellent.
No, we did not, apparently.
No.
Now it's been a hot minute. Does anyone remember what happened last time?
Are you asking for a recap?
I totally am.
Douche, was that you volunteering?
Damn it, I knew I shouldn't have said anything. So we effectively found ourselves on a bit of a space station as Kentucky was looking for an artifact. Myself getting some explosives ready to leave our signature calling card, as Demon does whatever Demon does on their ship.
Keeping you people alive.
Sure.
I'll leave you there next time.
Going all fast and furious at us. I made my way across deep space, flinging us across. But yeah, no, we got out of there, had a bit of downtime, and started hearing rumblings off some of the Concordant. Is it Concordant? No, I got that word wrong.
It's Concordant.
It is Concordant, yes. I hear some rumblings of and whispers from some of the Concordant soldiers about other potential resistant fighters who may have been cornered, and for the greater good, we should probably help them out. Or as Demon may have messaged to me earlier, we repo them, we scrap their ship and upgrade ourselves instead.
I did not say any such thing.
That is 100% what you did. Didn't want to help anyone.
Lies and slander at the beginning of the session. This is bullshit.
Nah, 100% true. No fake news.
We are going to rescue them and keep them all alive.
No, that's what I said. That's what I said to do.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No possible way that we could find out what we said last time.
No.
No record of it. Lost to time.
Hush.
How would we do that?
No idea.
If only it was downloaded, saved, edited, and uploaded to a streaming platform of some kind.
That's right. There are 10 people that can call you out on your bullshit right now, Dush.
Actually, there's 9 because I'm one of those 10. So ha.
You glazed over the most important part of the recap, in which we got these guys completely shit-faced to get this information out of them.
Oh yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
Well, you did. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the whole going left thing and like fucking playing with my brain like a taser, turning the switch on and on.
Left. Always go left.
Yeah, always go left.
Always go left. Left is always the way.
Rule of thumb in life, folks.
Damn.
Mhm.
That is so deep. I'm unsure if we'll actually do it like this or I'll do a previously on Dark Cosmos.
Either or.
And then you just play a really shitty recap.
Yep, pretty much.
I actually kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, but like with all of us contributing to like a very shitty a cappella background music as well, really bad heist music where we're all just trying to make noises with our mouths, and we're obviously all going to be completely horrible. Like I doubt that our very first time attempting to do something like that would turn out to be good, but just very distracting a cappella background music.
In the future, you have each of us record a recap, and you just play us all over each other, discordantly trying to haphazardly say it.
Yeah, I'll just cut between us kind of thing. Alright, with that, let's dive in and see if they can actually save the Centennial Hawk
I forgot that's what it was called.
on today's session of Dark Cosmos.
Pew pew.
We begin in hot pursuit, being chased down by a squadron of Concordant Knight Viper ships, small, fast, maneuverable ships that work together as a strike force to eliminate any threat. The squadron darts, weaves all throughout this asteroid field. Particle cannons are firing off in all directions. You see explosions of rock and dirt just scattering everywhere. Smash cut to the inside of the cockpit. Alarms, buzzers going off everywhere. The center console is ablaze in red warning lights and proximity alarms. Through the front windows, asteroids are streaking past, dirt and fragments bouncing off the screen.
Smash cut.
To the science lab. The sound of rattling glass deafens the ears. Every sharp twist and turn the ship makes, vials, test tubes leap from their stands, go shattering across the benches. Shards of glass and a trickling of blood litter the floor in this room.
Smash cut.
In the landing bay, the straps that are holding down the shuttlecraft are under immense pressure. They buckle, they break, and the whole craft just lists to one side, ramming itself into the side of the ship itself.
Smash cut.
To the engine bay. Noise, whirling, rumming. The engines are hot. Heat is just extruding from these engines. One of the hoses break and goes hissing and spewing smoke into the chamber. A small fire alights from underneath the main chassis that's holding the mounts together. A moment after, some suppressant foam gets sprayed everywhere.
Smash cut.
To a distant view of the asteroid field, a calm sight interrupted by a massive explosion. Rock, metal, debris is just jettisoned out of the asteroid field, and you see these Viper ships are now just circling and swarming around this crash site. Triv turns to you all and says, "Well, goddamn, glad that wasn't us," as you are safely here on a gulp and go diner gas station on one of the many moons around Juniper. And that's where we begin.
Something about a car chase. Just want to kick your feet up and get some popcorn, you know? Do they have popcorn at this Gulp and Go?
They certainly do. Space popcorn.
Space popcorn.
It's still popcorn.
It's regular popcorn, they've just got confetti in it as well. Yeah.
It's like cinema popcorn. It's very overpriced. It's the only difference.
I've just got my face pressed against the glass in front of me, just staring at that going down, just being like, damn.
Oh, the whole time I'm critiquing everything the pilot should have done. Every little thing, like, oh, come on, like I saw him, he was going to crash the entire time. He totally should have banked way before that even started getting close to happen. He could have avoided all of that.
I think out of everyone here, Voel, you'd be the best to know just how skilled and talented these Vipers are. They are a deadly force to reckon with.
And I'm deliberately downplaying it, being like, "Oh, that guy's just a fucking idiot. I could beat these guys with my eyes closed."
How far? Like, it's obviously close enough that we can see the dogfight happening effectively, right? Like, it's still kind of within this system.
Yes, we're definitely in the system. You're basically orbiting the first planet past the asteroid field.
Hey, Demon, do we need spare parts? Because I see spare parts.
I don't think there are spare parts. There will absolutely be not much spare parts when they are done with that crash site.
And by they, we actually don't mean the Vipers. Looking to the left of where all that was happening, we see a large frigate-sized warship scanning the asteroids as it's going by. You see this green laser array just going over every asteroid, obviously looking for something. Voel, you would know this ship to be the CCF Osprey. Yeah, like a concordant military class ship. Don't know if you may not have worked on it in the past, but you would definitely know of this ship.
We need to stay away from that one. It is frigate is
It's one size larger than your ship.
yeah, it's big. It's bigger than baby, and it has more guns from memory.
No, don't care to put your pilot skills to the test there, Vol. I heard you talking a big game mere moments ago.
I could beat the other ships whose name I've already forgotten
Vipers.
without even trying. That's how little they matter to me. Is I don't even know what they're called. They're nothing. They're specks.
Vipers, Vol.
Shut up. The big one though, that'd be a fun fight for me. You guys might have a bad time. I wouldn't want to do that to you. You guys know how Ark has a sensitive stomach. I wouldn't want to do that to him.
Oh, I was not by any means suggesting that I would be joining you on that ship.
You need to be on the guns.
I have a stomach.
I don't know, don't you? You're like 90% stomach. Look at you.
Yeah, that's fair.
We flew past the gas giant. I thought that was you. I was wondering how you got out of the ship.
Why would you fly past me?
This is definitely one of those instances where Algernon would probably bust out some actually about the xenobiology of the Yogwa? Is that how you pronounce your race?
The Yugwa.
Yogi bears, I think they're called.
To just say that the Yugwa stomach, while an impressive size in comparison to the average human being, still only makes up about 20% of a Yugwa's body composition.
I just deadpan stare at him and just say, "Thank you, Captain Attenborough."
Sarcasm. Sarcasm.
I point back up at the frigate and be like, wasn't that the whole, like, those... I mean, you say we probably shouldn't take it, but isn't that the whole point that we got that... and then I start whispering, like, isn't that the whole point we got that cannon?
I like to think your whispering isn't really whispering. You're just still just speaking at normal volume, but you're kind of just a little bit more airy about it.
Oh, I'm okay with that, yeah. I'll take it.
Just like looking around, like left and right, like the cannon.
Just a very loud hiss.
You know the big illegal one.
The cannon!
Look, yes, but a solid like third of the time, like the definitely legally attained tractor beam for collecting scrap, it's more likely to blow our ship apart. What? It might blow the ship. It might blow the ship up.
Who collects scrap with a tractor? Oh wait, yeah.
Trev chimes in a bit here and goes, yes, especially for a tractor beam, probably going to want to maybe disable the shields on that big frigate first. Otherwise, it's just going to glance off. But, that's if we're tractoring it, of course.
Of course. Like, maybe we just want to, like, forklift it.
Yeah, Rook just looks confused as all hell. Tractor beam, what?
Either way, Trev hands you this tube of paste and goes, I've got us some quasar solar screen. If we're going to get close to that sun, you're probably going to want to put some of this on. They didn't have aloe vera, which I usually get. They've got this new dust recipe.
I want to taste a little bit.
It tastes bland, maybe a little gritty.
Wait, didn't you say it was a dust? Or dust branded?
You look on it, it's got like new dust recipe written on it. But it's basically just a tube of sunscreen.
Yeah, I don't recommend eating it.
Before we do anything else, since this is the start of a job, you are in a relative safe space at the moment here in the diner. I would like to ask everyone what their load out is going to be for this one. Are you going to go for a light load, a normal load, or a heavy load?
Before Rook potentially starts picking loadouts and things like that, he's just going to kind of have a conversation with everyone and just see. We know that there's potentially some resistance members who need a bit of help. We know that they're already kind of in the thick of it. Are we effectively just going to run and gun? Was my original thought. But it sounds like maybe we may want to be a bit more subtle about it. What do we think? Like,
Let's have this conversation in private, not in the diner.
well, yeah. Assuming we're in a safer place to have the conversation, sure.
We're surrounded by Concordant guards. So, that rebel ship we're going to go rescue, am I right?
Let's fly up to the frigate and discuss loudly.
Turn to the right and just there's a lady in a maid-like outfit and goes, "Can I at least refill your coffee before you do that?"
Oh yeah,
Love
actually.
how she's back.
It's the future. She has to hold down several jobs.
In this economy, man. It's ridiculous. I think recon is important, as far as we know, and this is more like a recap, right? We know that the ship has been cornered, but not necessarily taken out of commission yet, correct?
Correct. And from what you can tell, it looks like they're searching and scanning for it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So they may not know exactly where it is in the asteroid field.
So with that in mind, do we have a way to stealthily get the Coyfish in there, or make it look like something it's not? Make it look like a Viper, or
Definitely wouldn't be able to make it look like a Viper.
The Viper's smaller, right?
Vipers are a small, one-man ship.
oh, okay, yep, yeah.
Is the frigate the only big angry ship here? I know there were the Vipers flitting about, but is the frigate the only big angry military class thing?
Military class, yes. You do see amongst these moons of this planet, there's lots of smaller freighter style ships, which makes sense. They're coming to collect resources, take them away, process resources, industry.
Yep. Look, this is a trade hub, right?
Probably more of an industry hub than a trade hub. So this hub is about collecting the resources out of this gas giant. Now, this gas giant is massive. You're thinking maybe 100 to 200 times the size of Earth now.
Yep.
So they're able to gather a lot of resources out of this. A lot of it is going towards fuel. Over in the asteroid field, the frigate is the main ship you see. You see the squadron of Vipers, but also, well, you would know there would probably be a second or third squadron of Vipers probably on board the ship.
Which I make known to my friends, compatriots.
Algernon's probably going to be going with a medium load, normal
load?
whatever it's called. Yeah, normal load. His thinking is that it's going to be very unlikely that we're going to be in a spot where having some visible weapon is going to immediately lob our spot, right? If we're helping out these rebels, we're either in trouble or we're not. And I feel like he'd want to be prepared more than anything else and to be caught out.
Voel is probably of the same mindset, so I would definitely be normal gear at the very least. I've got my trench coat on, and I've got my many pockets.
And Ark?
Ark was actually leaning more towards a heavy sort of loadout, just because if it does get hairy in there, Ark is able to step in and is ready for anything kind of thing. So Ark was leaning more towards that, just kind of wanted more of a lay of the land as far as, do we have a chance to go in stealthy? Can we sneak our way in? Is it just an instant firefight sort of thing? But yeah, heavy's still the way that Ark was leaning regardless.
Okay, we have a couple of options, and correct me if I'm wrong. We can either take the really big ship. I would argue hard to do, because they want to keep the big ship. I really want the big ship, so I'm conflicted. Option 2, we can blow up the big ship. Doable, but like Triv mentioned, shield kind of gets rid of our trump card, because it's not really built for going through shield, it's built for going round shield.
Triv then pipes up and goes, but, if we got on board and maybe disabled it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, Triv.
You're volunteering, Triv? You're a true hero. Alright, we'll wait here.
Well, I'm taking the ship with me then. Someone's got to keep those engines going.
Like hell you are.
I feel like if we could bring the entire ship inside the frigate, then the shield probably won't be much of an issue.
That's another good idea.
That wasn't an idea. That was me saying that Triv cannot take the ship with him.
I'm good. I'm not that good. I am that good. We could do that. Do you want to do it? We'll fly into the ship and then kablooey and then fly out of it in a blaze of glory.
Goddamn feathered moron. Lecture me about sarcasm.
We'd probably still need a way past the shields prior to getting on board with our own ship, right? Or with any ship.
Unless we made a big mess. We made a big mess. However long ago it was. It was quite recently, wasn't it? Like, what was the scope of time since our last job in this one?
Would say we're probably pushing a week or two now.
We made a real big mess like a week ago. If we would be like, hi guys, and then they tried to like, capture us and bring us onto the ship, and then we blow it up from the inside.
Yes, but there is a lot of time in between us being captured and us being able to blow up the ship, because I'm assuming they'd probably disarm us, put us in a brig, question us, maybe torture us. Stuff that I'd kind of like to avoid. Plus, we're getting very stuck up on blowing up the ship and not actually helping the other resistance members, which is another thing that I feel like it should probably take priority.
If we get rid of the thing looking for them, we help them.
It's a very measured response from you, Ark.
My brain's a little fried for some reason.
Yeah, you should know the way.
I know the way, but I don't know the way.
Oh, yeah, that's a good... What does your space magic tell you? I have zero understanding of the way. I'm just like, space magic.
Fair. My space magic is probably saying that maybe we be a bit more tactical and use something else as a diversion to get us in there rather than us being the diversion to get in there. So maybe in our aim to help said resistance members, we can create another diversion that also gets the attention of all the Vipers and other things like that. We get the other resistance members, and in getting them as well, we're able to get ourselves onto the frigate.
But why would we need to get onto the frigate at that point?
Because Demon wants to.
Well, no, so if we get rid of... So our options are get rid of frigate or find the resistance before the frigate does. And dodge the frigate.
Oh, so you want to get rid of frigates so the resistance is easier. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, I mean...
I just thought you really wanted to play on the frigate.
Well, I also want to do that, but, like, it's why we're here, right?
Fair.
Kentucky spent all that money getting those people drunk to get this information. Thanks for that, by the way.
I feel like every time you speak about anything about me, I feel as if you don't actually know anything about me.
I'm really just realizing that?
I know that you don't let me push the button. I wanted to keep pushing the button to fuck with him, but you wouldn't let me.
Wait, what button?
No button, don't worry.
What? Okay.
Okay, let's say we do take care of that big ship. What if we just disabled some things so it was harder for them to scan and locate? Because we've also got to try and find out where the Centennial Hawk is as well.
Yeah, being super stealthy, I guess.
What if we steal another ship to get onto their ship? To get onto the frigate?
Can I just, out of character,
Sure.
circle back? What exactly is our job? What are we doing? Like, what are we trying to achieve here?
I believe the goal was to try and help the rebels.
Yes, but are we referring to the rebels that have just crashed down this, like, in the asteroid field?
No.
No, you think they're obliterated.
Right, okay, so they're a lost cause. Okay.
Yeah, this will be locating the Centennial Hawk, which has apparently gotten a message out of a secure facility.
Right, okay. So right now our only lead is potentially this big frigate. So blowing that up is, without getting information, is useless. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, not necessarily. We blow it up, and then they're not looking for them anymore because they're dead.
But that's not getting us information, that's just removing one of their pawns.
But I mean, like, once they're no longer running away from the big scary ship with the big guns, we can just be like, "Yo, we saved you with our beacons."
Did we not just watch the same Vipers just destroy a bunch of other ships?
There was one ship, and their pilot sucked. All right, I could get rid of the Vipers.
All of them.
It would take a minute, but yeah, sure.
Would it be safe to assume, Xeno, that if we were to destroy this frigate, that the immediate danger is gone? Or would we be expecting that the Concordant can actually just send another frigate?
It would probably take them some time to get here, so if they were able to get off a message, you do know that there is the Vipers that are around, and there is potentially more Vipers on the frigate, so if you were to destroy it, you would probably then still have to deal with the Vipers. It is a big ship. I don't know if we've actually used the cannon before or not.
Ooh, let's say no. It'd be way more fun to find out for the first time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You don't know how much damage that's going to do to the ship. Maybe if you were far out, it might do more, but being in the ship and firing it might be other complications.
I can't imagine there being complications from that choice of actions.
Sound like a flawless plan.
Risk-free.
I've seen it happen in anime. It's fine.
Well, how about this? What if we use the frigate to our advantage to at least get information or find out what they know about the Centennial Hawk? At least that's a starting step. If we can figure out a way to do that and then potentially get off it, I do have access to a detonator. I could potentially plant some explosives that could potentially lead to the shields being dropped later.
Also, there's other things you could be looking at doing here as well. Like you could potentially be disabling the scanners, so it makes them harder to find the Centennial Hawk, or disable communications, which would then stop them from getting messages and relaying messages.
Be a lot easier than destroying the entire frigate. Yeah.
Yeah, even if we just disable it.
Destroying comms could also potentially sever the communication between the frigate and the Vipers.
Fine.
I'm not saying we shouldn't try for it. I'm just saying maybe we at least get some information out of it first and set up for that.
There is multiple ways to attack this job, and each of them will have their pros and cons.
They'd probably notice the entire Coyfish, but we might be able to sneak on if we use one of our shuttles. Alternately,
Well, that's what I was saying. Rather than using the Coyfish, what if we get a hold of one of their ships?
You're also assuming you have notoriety at the moment.
Well, regardless of notoriety, we can't just randomly board a concordant ship with our ship.
Yeah.
I assume that, like,
I'd assume that's still a no-no.
yeah, like all the Vipers look the same, for example, right? It's not like our ship would, and we don't have any sort of clearance. They'd probably like send comms to us and like ask for clearance before we were able to board.
come on, Kentucky. It's 19,375. You can't just say that anymore.
Oh, about the Vipers. Oh, good one. Yeah.
Sarcasm.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
What if we told them we had information about where they are or how to find them?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's only going to be good leverage if they don't already have that information themselves.
I mean, it looks like they're trying to search.
Like, there wouldn't be, like, searchy laser beams. It'd be shooty laser beams.
Well, what if Voel pretended to... What if we pretended that Voel was one of the Resistance members, tied Voel up, and just said, like, hey, we caught one of them, here you go. Hand Voel to them, and Voel can just, like, make up some, like, BS, like, string them along for a bit, while we then potentially hack their systems, try and mess with their communications, find out where the Resistance members might be based off their info, and then get Voel and skedaddle.
Can we flashback? That's a thing, right? I didn't just make that up.
You certainly can.
Okay.
What are you trying to achieve out of this flashback?
So, my thought is super long flashback from before I met these guys,
Okay.
where I was working upon this ship during my early years as a pilot. Actually, as a Viper pilot.
Okay. So what are you wanting to get out of the flashback?
I want to be known to the people here, so that they would know that I turn-coded against the Concordat, and so they would know me to be they would recognize me specifically as Le Traiteur.
I think it makes sense that people would know you. So if you want to mark 1 stress, we can definitely have that flashback.
Done. Too easy.
Back in military times, you're one of the top shot pilots here for the CCF Osprey.
I know my way around this ship like the back of my talon. Yeah, they'll probably know me. So I used to work here not long before I turned my back on the Concordat. It was a while ago, so I don't know if any of the same people are still running the ship, but chances are someone would recognize me. So if you wanted to be like, here's one of the traitors, here's one of the rebel scum, interrogate him about his friends, that could work. But it would mean that we don't have anyone to fly us out, and you would also need to save me.
That'd be kind of perfect, yeah.
I am not a fan of either of those ideas. No.
I'm also going to start a clock here. The Concordant is searching these asteroids, and I will honor the 6 you rolled at the end of last session for the start of this job and give you a 12-segment clock here for the rebels being discovered by the CCF Osprey. Once that fills up, they will have found the Centennial Hawk.
What's our way of getting intel on where the Centennial Hawk might be? Currently, our main thoughts are via the frigate and potentially stealing information back from them. Vol, you mentioned that you know your way around a Viper. Do you know I mean, potentially to steal information from one of those, or if you can get me onto one of them, I can potentially hack it and see if we can get into their network anyway.
So Vipers don't often fly alone. Like for us to get to one, we would need to deal with the entire squadron, and then keep one alive, and then get onto it before it flies away and calls for help.
What about the one that's on the ship? If they aren't all flying about at the moment.
Well, then we'd need to get onto the ship.
Yes, which we can do given your, your plan of being bait.
Oh, well then yeah, if we want to get on the ship, 100%. Get us on the ship, you could probably get into there. You could probably, I don't know, speak to people, see what information they have. Once you turn over Rebel, they'd probably think you're a friendly pal. Just don't let them kill me.
Sure.
No, of course not. You're the only one that knows how to fly a Viper.
Yeah, that took too long. We had to be faster about it.
Okay, so how about this? Kentucky, if you go with Demon and kind of set things up of, yes, we've got a prisoner, the trash says he's one of you or he knows you or something like that, you can kind of distract him with that. I could then get onto another ship or something, some sort of tech in the landing bay, see if I can get into their communication system or figure out how to get to their communications room, see if I can get some information out of there and potentially plant a fun little surprise for them. And then if we have a timer set up between us, you have a set time to get Demon back to the ship and get us out of here. And in that time, we've got information, we've potentially messed with their system, and Voel actually lives.
Please don't leave me.
It seems like a better plan than most.
Yeah.
It gives us a way on and potentially an exit strategy. I mean, Voel, what do you think? Is it quite likely that there are still some grounded Vipers on the ship?
Well, we saw more than one squadron potentially going out there. So I'm assuming they're not all constantly circling.
I'm asking Voel in terms of his flashback, seeing as he used to work on one. Like, he should have that definite information, right?
Yes.
And you would probably know that Viper squad that's circling out there at the moment, it's making sure there's no survivors.
Yeah. Oh, you know, the Vipers were vicious. Like, Viper pilots renowned for being, like, the worst of the worst pilots. Like, they're good at what they do, but they will kill everything and everyone. It was a different time in my life. I don't do that now, obviously. I still want to blow up the big ship, but, you know, I'm different now, I swear.
Sure.
Do they have any... Did the ship from my time there have much in the way of like, mystics, of practitioners of Dewey?
No, it's usually more military focused. So these were people that are pilots, probably good with guns and, you know, melee combat. It was a ship of wartime.
Okay, then. I can't push the button and use it as a trap. Fine.
But that was a long time ago, so you don't know how much things have changed.
Also, I don't think we've made any conclusions as to whether it affects people that are sensitive to the way or if it affects specific races, like the
What's this, the cannon or, sorry, the tractor beam or something else?
I don't know if you're in character or IRL, not knowing what we're talking about.
Yes. It was in character, but at the same time, I was just like, wait a minute, I think I've been assuming the wrong thing.
The artifact, the one that I kept pushing.
Oh,
to
yeah,
make you
yeah.
make
Sorry,
you
that
walk
was
into it.
Yeah, that was 100% in character, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to be sure.
I was so good at being Ark, even I forgot.
Okay, cool. So, I think you'll, like, tie me up and then take me onto the ship to be like, yo, guys, we have Rebel Scum, Yarg. And then they'll take me, and then you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna walk around, I'm gonna look around. Let's be friends. And then while you're doing that, you're gonna, like, get information about where the rebels are, and then save me so we can save them. And maybe, like, cause some ruckus, like break their shields or break their engines. Triv, how easy would it be to break the engines on this thing?
Just like any engine, you put enough banging into it, I'm sure something will break and explode. Maybe if you reroute the exhaust vent through the flux incision matrix, and I think it's doable.
How much of that was true? How much of that was Xeno scrambling?
Who are you talking about?
I mean, it sounds made up to me, but I don't know anything about ships, so...
Especially fake space ones.
I loved it.
Teddy bear. Teddy bear, could you do what he said to do?
Well, this is the problem. If it's messing with the frigate, probably not, because messing with an exhaust fan on a frigate's like probably triple the size of me, at least, and I'm big enough as it is. So that would be quite hard to do. Maybe causing something in the electronics to trip it up, like redirecting it rather than vents. How intimate of knowledge do you have of a frigate's sort of layout there, Vol? Like,
This one, it was been a while, but I mean, I don't imagine they would have changed it very much.
I think getting into like the engineering side of things might be less in your mind. It's like you probably would definitely have a good knowledge of, where the ships get parked, where the officer training happens. But maybe the engineering side, you'd probably know where it is, but it's kind of like a fuzzier memory.
that's fine. All I would need is where it is, really, and I can try and figure it out from there.
Last time I was here, you just had to follow the green paint that was on the floor. So the green paint led to the engine technicals, electronic side of stuff.
I can work with that, yeah.
And this is the session we learn that Ark is blue-green colorblind.
The only flaw in our otherwise perfect plan.
I'm hearing we're tying up Voel and we're going to fly over and offer him as bait to the Osprey.
Yes.
Yes, bait.
Well, obviously we'll communicate first so we don't get shot down. But yes, we'll say we have
Yeah.
we have a defector and coming to return him.
Well, let's roll the clock on a bit here. You've spent your time tying up Voel. Who's flying the ship in?
Triv is my second.
Cool. I'm going to mark off one segment of the discovery clock from the time it's taken you guys to do all this. And Triv's in the pilot seat, and you get a hail from the Osprey as you're midway to it.
Couple of questions. A, the communication, is it audio only, or is there does it have holograms and shit as well that shows us visually?
You tell me. What have you got on your ship?
I mean, I'm all for neat sci-fi tech on the ship, by all means. If it's visual, I'll just make sure that I've got my concordant lab coat on before I answer.
I was almost going to say maybe we make it seem like the video is broken on our ship so that we only have to deal with audio, just so it makes it a bit easier for us to hide or blend in, I guess. Or would that not be worth it?
I mean, it would alleviate some fears of being noticed.
It will, but it'll also mean that they might not recognize Voel just off the description or the name. If they recognize him by name, that's not an issue, but, if they recognize him because they see him, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that guy.
This is assuming it's the same people on the ship as well, so there's a possibility that these people may not recognize him visually.
I was a hero.
Well, then as long as you're okay...
Yeah, true. That's all right. Regardless, I'll be putting on my medic garb at some point or another when I go over there, so I answer the hail.
So we're not trying to make it seem the video is broken?
Oh, sorry, it's more just does the ship have video or not?
Well, that's a good question, so you guys tell me. Do you think you do?
Yeah, I'm happy to say not if it doesn't really help us, or if it's...
Nah, I think yes to video.
Yeah, I actually agree with what you were saying of having that visual of Vol actually makes it
Yeah?
easier. So I'm fine with having it there, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm picturing it like 90s tech, so it's one of those small CRT screens.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuzzy lines.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, with the fuzzy lines and like the line scanner.
20 hertz monitor.
Like it. And my second question is, we don't have that much notoriety as a group, right?
Especially in this system.
Especially in this system. And like, if I was to refer to our ship, that wouldn't raise any red flags. Like, I wouldn't be just putting up my foot in my mouth.
One way to find out.
Okay, well, fuck it. Let's go.
We're the Coyfish, but with a K.
Yeah, we're working on patent pending.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go, we just keep changing one letter.
Yeah.
It's not a Y, it's an I.
like in Grand Theft Auto when they just paint the car and the cops forget what you look like.
It's not an F, it's a PH.
The Coyfish.
Your hail comes in and it's a bit crackly. You see a gentleman there. He's got the concordant military cap. This is Lieutenant Rollman of the CCF Osprey Corvette class ship. Please identify and state your purpose for operating in this region.
I don't know if you push a button to respond, but at least look important pushing the button. Yes, Lieutenant. This is Dr. Archer Carrick of the Coyfish. Just happened to catch some of Ali's scum, who I believe is a defector of the Concordant. Quite fortuitous that you all came to this part of the system when you did, so we thought we'd just hand him over.
I'm muffled as hell.
Please hold. And you see it kind of like cuts to a a waiting screen.
Do, 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 do.
I'm gonna ask for an action roll here. I'm assuming the action here is you're trying to convince them that this is Voel. And I will remind you all your gambits have reset, so you now have 2 gambits again.
Okay, well, since a lot of our plan hinges on this working, I would say this is definitely one of the places we should be putting this gambit.
Yeah, I'm up for that, yeah.
Because you guys gagged me.
Quite sure. we didn't do that. How did he get a gag?
He gagged himself. Those are his ears.
Alright, what action are we rolling?
So, I mean, I feel that's probably a sway.
Cool. You can push yourself as well to take 2 stress, get an extra die. If I would say Voel would like to take an extra stress, you can gain an extra die if he's helping you try to make it more believable.
1 more stress.
He said yes.
I'm really leading into the roll. But yes.
Okay, so with the gambit and Vol's help, that's 4 dice. Is that correct? So if I've got a sway of 2.
So you've got 2 in sway, so you're taking a gambit, help from Voel. So Voel, mark a point of stress.
I did.
Cool. And I'm going to say this is a controlled situation, and you're going to get standard effect out of it.
Okay, so I don't think it's worth pushing myself to get beyond 4 at this point.
Give me a roll.
Excellent. The highest was a 6.
Was it multiple 6 or just 1 6?
No, just 1. So close. Got 5. So close.
Oh, so close.
1 6. Alrighty. The video screen comes back on, and Lieutenant Rollman continues. Acknowledge Corvette class ship. Please proceed to docking bay 5 for verification and inspection. The feed ends, and you see on the ship a small docking bay open up on the side, big enough to house your ship. And I assume you're going to fly on in and land?
Chip is going to fly on in and land. I'm going to stand here, looking self-important.
It was the royal you as a crew.
Yeah, keep using that, like that.
You get permission to land. Triv takes the ship in. Where's your exits on this ship? I know you've got the cargo bay doors, so the landing bay doors out the back. Would you have just a general exit to the side? Like a port opening?
Yeah, we would. We would have like small personnel entrances on the side.
Looking out the door, there is a commanding officer and flanked by 2 other personnel with big rifle guns, and they look like they are waiting for you to exit.
Can I stay hidden on the ship?
You certainly can try.
Cool, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to stay on the ship.
Who's walking Voel out?
I suppose that'd be me.
And I would probably say Trev would be there as well, since he was flying the ship.
Yeah, that checks out.
Sure.
You approach. The gentleman here goes, I am Lieutenant Roman. Is this the fugitive you were talking about?
Ah, yes, indeed.
No. I'm shaking my head no.
As you start shaking your head, I slap you on the back of the head in like mid-conversation. We caught him in our food store, stuffing his beak. Found out the little interrogation that he had defected from Concordant, and yes, just our luck. He's not too long after you arrive.
I try and kick him in the shin.
The guy snaps his fingers and points at Voel, and you see these 2 flanking guards go over to grab Voel and escort him away to the brig.
No!
Are you allowing this to happen, or?
If it looks like they are capturing him and not executing him, then I think I'm okay with them taking him to the brig for the time being.
It's most commonly known that, taking in people alive so they can be punished for their crimes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Especially defectors.
Yeah.
Those people walk Voel off to one section to a hallway to the other side, down and outside your vision. Lieutenant Rollman turns to you, goes, well done for bringing in the fugitive. I will need to check your papers are in a line for the ship. Can we please address that now, thank you?
Yes. Yes, of course. So, probably a good time for a flashback.
Certainly. What are you trying to get out of a flashback?
Well, it's a good question. What the fuck are these papers, guys? What the fuck?
I have legitimate guild papers.
Okay.
I have my legitimate guild license, so you could say that you took the ship off of me, and that was my ship.
I could, but we haven't.
Well, you've already said that
Yeah, that being said,
I mean, you could probably check his room, so you guys all have your own crew quarters.
Oh yeah.
So if Voel has told you guys about these guild licenses, or you could probably search his room to get them.
Yeah, I have like 7 of them.
okay.
3 of them for me with different names, and 1 each for you guys, in case I wanted to throw you under the bus at one point.
Excellent. Okay.
Does that add to my load? It would, right?
Yes, mark it on your load.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the other crew have that as an option. It's specific to your playbook.
Yeah, no, that's pilot specific. Yeah.
Nice. Very good. So, yes, say with the flashback that this would have been pretty easy to anticipate that this question was going to come up. Voel had already mentioned that he had some fake papers, and the fake name that I gave him was on my guild papers that he has stored in his quarters, so I brought that with me.
Awesome. No need to mark a stress for that one, because we've already marked it as load.
Now, just quickly, during that flashback, with Vol mentioning those papers being in their quarters and things like that, is it worth us purposely not having them on us the second you two get off the ship, or you 3 get off the ship, and having someone such as myself catch up to your group with the papers as a way to kind of move freely without guards being directly with them?
I was saying that the flashback was more the fact that we were anticipating this was the case and we would have those papers.
Would we have then purposely left them behind just to have someone else, i.e. me, be able to run up to give you guys the papers, saying, oh, you guys left this on the ship, forgot to bring it with you, I'm going to head back now, and then actually then head off looking for the communications room and the generators and stuff like that?
Oh, to sneak off. Yeah, I mean, if you feel that's the play.
Yeah, because my worry was with me hiding directly in the landing bay effectively off the frigate, that's still possibly ages away from any sort of generator rooms and communications and stuff like that. So at least if I'm able to freely move partway to you guys, I can then go off rather than heading directly back to the ship.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy to play it that way. Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question here. Your infiltration mission, what goals are you trying to get out of it again?
I'm effectively going to look for a power generator room, something that looks like it has ship-specific systems or networking near it to mess with the ship itself if I need to disable it for later.
I think the overarching goal is to get information about the Centennial. The fuck did we call it? Centennial Hawk. Yeah, what Ark is doing is essentially helping with our exit strategy. A, breaking Voel back out, and
Yes.
B, making a break with our ship without being followed. So I think that's the overarching idea.
I'm so happy you mentioned breaking Voel out.
I think he said attempting.
Well, Triv doesn't have that much helm.
So, getting information, breaking Voel out, disrupting, say, power generator or operations of the ship, and escaping. I'm going to start a clock for this. It's going to have 10 segments. The different actions you're going to perform, if you succeed, will fill up this infiltration plan, and that will progress what we're getting out of the situation. Once it's full, that's you out of the ship. Ideally, you would have disrupted power, got your information, got Voel out, and escaped.
And just quickly, just to recap, it was Lieutenant Rollmond that actually met them?
Correct.
Okay, yep, cool.
And even though you're getting locked up, Voel, you can contribute to the infiltration plan.
Okay, so can I assume that they will search me before they throw me into brig?
I think that would be a smart assumption.
Okay, cool. Then, could I mayhap do some shenanidoodles with my victory cigars that I would have on my person
Okay.
and lace them with all of the illicit drugs that I would also have?
Where did you get illicit drugs?
We all have access to it. It's in the list of items.
I've got illicit drugs as well, yeah.
Yep, everyone does.
Oh, I thought that was just a Stitch thing. Okay, no, you're right. Yeah, that's just like, sure. Yeah. Hilarious.
Or I could use the painkillers in the med kit or something. Just so I want to lace the cigars with some kind of drug to fuck with the guards that search me, see them, and ooh, cigars.
I like this. So are you wanting to do this as a flashback or in the moment?
This would be a flashback, yeah. It would not be something I did in the like with my arms tied up behind me, and my ears stuffed in my mouth.
In that case, if this is a flashback, I'm going to say mark those items in your load and mark a stress for me.
Yep, that I am very content with that. Illicit drugs and also the med kit as well. I slowly like unroll the cigar and then lace it with the painkillers from my med kit as well as
And then lick it to like stick it back together. Like lick the fucking cigar and just get high halfway through.
Of course I'm high. I'm pretending like I'm gagged. I'm not gagged at all. I'm just So they're now laced with all sorts of cocaine, painkillers, ibuprofen. I've got some morphine in there. I've put some like poppy seeds for like flavor. This is a masterpiece.
Cloves.
Cloves and cinnamon. You need the aromatics.
Yeah, the celebratory cigars, right?
Yeah, is there a chef roll?
No dice roll needed for this one. This is just going to happen because it's part of a flashback.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
When it cut over to you at the moment, you know you're in the brig area. They definitely remove those items from you, and they're going to throw you, obviously, in one of the cells. They literally just pick you up and throw you in and lock you onto the doors behind you.
What race are these people?
Human.
Simon, come on, we were friends. What are you doing to me? Don't take my... Why would you take my cigars? Is this how you treat a friend?
We're going to enjoy these, traitor.
Shut up. Is this how you treat a friend who comes back to visit?
Just ignore him.
How long has it been?
He'll get the same outcome as all the other traitors once we get him back to the capital.
Freedom and a villa on Glargon 5?
Yeah, sure thing, buddy. Sure thing.
Oh, I'm excited. Give me one of my cigars. I want to celebrate.
They're giggling and laughing, and they just leave the room and leave you in here.
Simon!
Over in the cell across from you, you see a couple Caxel, 3 of them. They're just sitting there, very mopey. These are the koala people, and they're like, "Yep, they're not coming back to let us out anytime soon."
Aw, it'll be all right, you guys. It's not like they're going to execute you like they're going to me. You want to break out?
Oh, do you think we can get out of this one? Think we haven't tried?
Look at you. The bars the bars don't even hold you in. You can just walk out. You're so small.
No, these bars are like very thin.
Oh,
They are
I know.
definitely
I'm
designed
saying
to-
it anyway. I'm saying it deliberate. I'm saying it anyway. Like, come on, you guys are being weak.
They just roll their eyes at you.
All right. If I could get us out of here, will you come with us and help cause some ruckus?
Buddy, if you can get us out of here, we'll do whatever you want. But, that's not going to happen.
Oh, dangerous words, my friend.
Oh.
Dangerous words. Yeah, my space harem is beginning.
I was literally just thinking that.
All right, so you're talking a big game here. Are you going to try anything?
So they've taken everything off me, correct?
I would say they've definitely taken any big things off of you, and you know where they would put that in the room next door in the lockup.
Are these doors like physically locked or electronically locked?
I think they've had a few upgrades. Let's say they're electronically locked.
Is there such a way that, like, so if I had like my repair tools on me, for example,
Mm-hmm.
so like little like some wrenches and stuff, like probably like a utility belt around my waist. If I had those, would they have taken those off me?
I mean, unless you can tell me a way you could have hidden them.
I mean, the prison wallet is always an answer.
I would say you didn't have those on you.
All right, so
I mean, you were expecting this to happen, so I'd say you were prepared.
all right. In that case, could I use my repair tools to try and like jerry rig something together to try and short the lock on my cell?
You certainly can.
Also, did we plan for the guys to try and rescue me before I try and spoil our plans?
I think there was a plan to come and get you out. But if you can get yourself out, that might help the plan more.
I'm going to hold off on that. I'm gonna jury rig the thing together to try and short the doors, but I'm not gonna do it yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for a signal, be it some noise outside, sound of ruckus, alarms going off at the engines are failing, we're crashing into a meteor, I don't know, stuff like that. Yeah, so I'll do that. So I'll add that to my load. Yeah.
All right, so you get to work on that.
Did you need me to make an action roll for it to like rig that together?
No, not yet. We're not resolving it just yet.
Okay, cool. Yep, too easy.
Alrighty, I'm gonna mark off another one on the rebels being discovered, just to denote the passage of time. So we are at 2 of 12, and we'll come back around to Ark. What are you up to?
So the plan after that flashback would have been to have me come in a little after the fact to give Algernon the papers.
Okay.
So rather than heading back into the landing bay, back into the ship, I would have kind of kept an eye out, see if there's no one really around, and try and slip through a side corridor and start trying to find my way into effectively the bowels of the frigate, try and find sort of power generation, things like that. Do I see if there's any? So there's definitely concordant soldiers and staff and things like that here. Does it look like they have any slaves or laborers or just fodder, effectively, like individuals who are just there to add extra hands?
I would say there's like low-level cadets that are doing like the menial tasks. There's general mechanics as well, so definitely people loading and unloading of maybe ammunition and those kind of things. So there would definitely be that level of personnel around.
Because I'm wondering whether I could do a consult role on potentially a laborer or a slave-esque looking individual in a corridor to convince them to provide me additional resources, like additional information about which way to the actual power generation section of the ship, things like that, or where the actual filtration and stuff like that is, the ventilations and stuff.
Okay, so the outcome from this is you want not necessarily schematics, but like directions on the ship.
Directions to that, yeah, to that area of the ship, yeah.
I'm going to say, because you're not an officer of the ship, this is definitely going to be a limited outcome. And I'm going to say it's a risky roll. So this will be risky limited. If you want, can trade in your position and effect if you want to make it a desperate standard information, so you'll get more info out of it.
And on top of that, could I also push myself?
You definitely push yourself if you want to mark stress.
Yeah, I'll take both of those.
Alright, so this is going to be a desperate standard roll. You're marking stress for an extra die.
So I've currently got 2 points against consort, so that would make it 3 with the push myself, but it's still a potential desperate roll, correct?
Correct. Or you can go the just as normal risky roll but get limited information.
What does risky do? Sorry, just to jog my memory.
So the outcomes are different.
Oh, so I would still potentially be able to roll my 3, but could just be a slightly worse outcome.
Yeah, you definitely roll your 3. If you're doing a desperate and you fail that, that's going to be the worst possible outcome. Otherwise, if you're doing a risky, it goes badly if you fail, but not as badly.
Okay, I'll go risky on it then.
So risky but limited information.
Correct, yeah.
You won't get like a huge amount of details out of this person.
Yeah, but I'll kind of lessen the damage considering I am on a concordant ship and I'm trying to minimize how much trouble I get into.
Cool, and don't forget you do have a gambit to use as well.
Yeah, I'm going to hang on to that for now.
Yeah, we've only got one more, right?
We have one gambit left. You can earn gambits back with risky rolls.
Which is what he's about to roll.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to do a risky roll, but I'll still save the gambit anyway, just so we potentially stack back up to 2.
Cool, so mark your 2 stress for pushing yourself and make your roll for me.
Okay. I got a 5 as the highest.
5 is the highest.
So I got a 3, 4, 5.
So you don't get the extra gambit out of this one. There is going to be a complication. This guy is going to give you the directions. Which direction do you want out of him?
I want to find my way to effectively the power generation of the ship.
He escorts you there and makes sure you get there safely.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, corridor turning. You go up a lift to another level and you are completely lost onto where you are on the ship, but you're at the power core.
Okay, cool.
It is a big, bustling, generator cylinder in the middle. The catenary goes around the outside of it. You see there's people in protective gloves and stuff, just flipping switches, monitoring lights and dashboards. And you are here in the generator room. And I'm going to also mark off 1 point on your infiltration plan.
Cool.
Let's flash back to Algernon. You're here in this office space. He's looking through it. You go, yep, documents look like they're all in order. There is a bit of a bounty on this one. We will get that wired to you at some point. Would you give him your actual bank details to wire you the credits for the bounty? Or you can give them fake ones.
I'll give them fake ones because obviously they're not going to try and wire them before we break Voel out, so it's a moot point. And we don't want to give them real details to give them potential way to track us.
I'm also marked 1 extra one off of the rebels being discovered, again for passage of time with Deshawn's thing.
Yep. Cool.
So what's the next go? He's about to walk you out to your ship. It's like, yep, I think we're good here. We'll see you out and make sure you get those credits deposited to your account once we're back in port. You've done a tremendous job and service to the Concordant.
Kentucky goes, it's what we do, Lieutenant. Speaking of, we're in the area and we've had a bit of penchant for picking up bounties in the area, as it were. We did luck upon this one, but we do seek them out from time to time. We heard whisperings of a rebel ship coming through here, which is why we're in the area. We're quite good at, shall I say, make ourselves seen as potential allies. We're quite good at getting an in where perhaps large-scale armies might falter. Is there any chance you would be willing to take us on as potential contractors, help you find this rebel ship in the area?
You know what? Considering you caught this trader, he was one of the finest pilots in the fleet. Definitely think you have proven a bit of worth here. We might have some use for you. Please, come with me. And I think he's going to lead you off deeper into the ship, but into a different direction that Ark went. Where he leads you, it's just more office space. You walk past, looks like telecommunications equipment. There's some old like Morse code doobie dabby things.
Doobie dabby things, yep.
That's the official term, doobie dabby things.
I can confirm that's exactly what they were called during World War II. My grandfather was a professional doobie-dabbier.
You dabbled in doobie-dabbying?
Did it for a living.
Oh.
No, I was joking. Sorry. I have no...
Yeah, you're walking past a comm center and into looks like a briefing room of some sort where there is a wall of like conspiracy theory news articles. They've got the red yarn going from A to B, the equivalent of that. So it looks like they've been planning and trying to piece together this ship for a while. As you can see, this is the workings of the Centennial Hawk, a notorious rebel ship that needs to be brought to justice. And yeah, one of the articles you can definitely see is, this ship making the Caaroid run in under 5.2 kilonewtons.
Damn it.
Call back. Yo.
I hate myself a little bit. Nice.
Brilliant. Excellent.
It's like a news article as from the Concordance view, so it's like a propaganda press.
Propaganda. Yeah. And I say with a bit of a smirk, the Centennial Hawk. I must say, when we caught wind of the rebel ship and its description in this system, we were hoping for the best, and we bag in. Yeah, if we managed to take in these rebels, don't think we could have possibly asked for a better score.
Oh yes, this one has the highest of bounties on them. We've been after them from quite a while. I think this is the closest we've gotten, and I will just let you know we're currently at 3 segments of 12 of the rebels being discovered.
That's what the lieutenant says, is it?
There's an LED display above.
Yeah, I feel like we are 3/12 the way.
We're 3/12 away.
Hate loading screens.
But we're pretty sure they're here in the asteroid fields. It's just a matter of time. Our sources say one of their engines have been damaged, so they're not going to be hyper jumping out of here anytime soon.
Interesting. And the unfortunate crash test dummies just outside, were they related in any way?
Hey, some people just try to be the hero, but rebels are rebels. They need to be eliminated.
True words, never spoken. If your sources say that the Centennial Hawk is in the system, somewhere in this asteroid field, I guarantee that if we find them, we could definitely win over their trust and very easily take them down from the inside. You'd be very surprised as to just how many people will let their guards down when you wear a medical coat.
I think this is another action roll for you to see how on board they are with sharing information. What outcome are you trying to get from this?
First off, am I able to tell that what they've said so far is the extent of their knowledge of its location?
I would say at this point, yes. They are discovering it, but can probably glean there's more information about okay, how are they trying to locate it? One thing you guys haven't tried yet was communicating with the Centennial Hawk via subspace radio.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe there's records of that they could share.
Yes, subspace radio, sure. Damn, I really need to watch some sort of fucking sci-fi. which helps so much.
To be fair, I watch a lot of sci-fi, and even I forgot about that part.
You guys tried so many things.
I forgot the whole trying first.
I mean, we did just go to let's blow up the big ship. That'll solve the problem.
I told you.
Hey, we curbed that. We learnt.
You curbed it.
It's let's disable the big ship.
You're still on the big ship, Voel. Currently unable to escape the ship.
Voel has friends on the ship now. I have a team of angry drop bears.
Yes. So I guess then my answer is, yeah, probably that. We'll probably be trying to get information as to the methods of tracking the Centennial Hawk, as well as any sort of information that they've gathered over, like, subspace radio that probably gave away some of their, like, part of their position.
Okay, what type of roll would you like to make?
Like, I want to try and not say sway again, just to be less, one note. I was thinking that I could, for the hell of it, say it's a doctor roll with my special ability, given that my main method of disarming any guarded behavior from the people I'm speaking to is with my fine bedside manner, and just the fact that you wear this doctor's coat, people just seem to trust you with things.
I think that is a very acceptable use of that skill. So you can definitely mark your 2 stress to use your doctor dice. You still have 1 gambit to use as well. I'm going to say for this one, I'm going to keep it as risky standard. If you want to trade in that effect and go desperate great, you definitely can. Or I'm going to offer you a devil's bargain, 1 extra dice.
Ooh, hell yeah. Let's hit the bargain. What is in the box? What's in the box?
The bargain is, I think there is a flurry of activity happens. It looks like the Centennial Hawk has tried to do something stupid. They've not been discovered, but it is going to advance an extra 2 spaces on the discovery clock. That would put you up to 5 of 12.
What do you think, gents?
I mean, right now
Big balls or no balls?
I mean, yeah, that actually sums up what I was going to say pretty well, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not our fault they fucked up. So yeah, let's take that gambit and get extra dice on the roll.
So devil's bargain?
Devil's bargain. Sorry, not gambit. Devil's bargain. Yes.
So that would put you at 3 dice, I believe.
3 dice is correct.
All of them 6s.
Mark your stress. I will tick off 2 points of this clock.
Just want to confirm that it's meant to be 2 stress, not 1.
Push yourself is 2 stress.
Yep. All right.
And this is risky standard.
Yes, risky standard. Yeah. All right. Going for the roll. 3 dice.
All 1s. Come on, baby.
5.
5 1s? You only have 3 dice.
He cheated so bad he still fucked up.
I know. I'm very impressive. I'm getting much better rolls today.
Okay, cool. You do this, but there is a consequence to this roll. I'm going to say a complication is going to occur, but not to you.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah, it's just Voel.
So the lieutenant is there. Yeah, he agrees with you. Like, the medical school, there's a lot of work that goes into being a doctor. They have to be trusted, right? You're administering health and goodness to people. So they need to be trusted.
Yeah, don't just give those certificates out. That's hard earned.
They talk about their tracking methods. So they picked up subspace frequencies of the transmission that got to the Centennial Hawk. That's what tipped him off that this was happening. He talks about protecting some of the concordance assets in the sense of like business partnerships. Something in this tip-off was around a business partnership with the Concordant. And they're looking at tracking it through this damaged engine. So they're trying to scan for the trace radioactive signals leaking from their engines. And that's what you get from that communique. Did I cover everything you were looking for?
Yeah, I think that's all we're asking about. That makes sense. So the communication's about them protecting concordant assets, and they're able to trace through faulty engines radiation leak. Okay.
So potentially getting the scanners off will hinder that process a lot. So you might be able to sneak the Centennial Hawk away if they can't scan for that engine leak. And I'm going to give you an extra 2 points on your infiltration plan because I think you got some information there. So infiltration plan is at 3 of 10.
As you start putting points in that infiltration plan, I would say that, I don't know if this is a flashback or not, but probably a flashback. Are we using flashbacks? I don't know. I want to do it.
What are you trying to achieve?
I'm repeating everything that he's saying in, a manner of confirming that I understand.
Okay, you do have communicators.
Exactly. I have a communicator hidden in my ear that is going directly to Ark.
I'm glad you said that because I was literally going to ask earlier, are the communicators like out loud speakers or can we hear them in our ear? But you just confirmed in our ear.
And possibly encrypted as well, which is also good. But yes, the idea being that I'm covertly conveying the information I'm getting from Lieutenant so that Ark has a good idea as to what to disable if he can help it.
Would everyone have their communicators, including Driven Trail?
Yes.
I think Driven Trail, yes, obviously not Voel for, yeah.
Every session, just you guys do stuff, and I just get locked in a cage or left in a boat,
It's a good trend. I like the pattern.
I love this campaign.
Yeah.
flying us all into the sun.
You would not hurt your baby like that, let's be honest.
You're right, I wouldn't. I'd eject the shuttle with you people on it.
Now, we're saying Vol would not have a communicator on him. Did he take one with him and it's just been like,
No, well, that's the thing. If this was a plan, then we know that he was going to get captured and searched, so we would not give him a communicator.
okay, cool, that happens. So you're whispering to yourself as kind of like, okay, I'm confirming this information with the lieutenant as he's speaking to it, and Ark, you're hearing all this, and Triv and Trail are also hearing this.
Having been escorted by one of the individuals on the ship towards the power generation room, I kind of took notice of what they were wearing, what they were dressed up as, any sort of IDs or things like that they had on them. After they led me to that room, you mentioned there was a bunch of other individuals in there sort of working on things, is that correct? Like in just maintaining the room?
Yeah, just like, electrical engineers just monitoring, making sure the power output's stable. Insert other sci-fi talk buzzwords here.
Synergy. Yep.
Yeah, the fluxes are synergizing correctly.
Making sure the flux capacitors,
A fluxing. Capacitors are capaciting.
making sure there's the appropriate ratio of borax to Ethernet cables.
There's one guy just plugging a USB in, not fitting, flipping it over, just repeating that.
The wrong way around. Oh, classic.
You notice he's trying to plug it into a display port, which is why it's not fitting.
I feel like there's a bit of hidden resentment in those words.
Yeah, I did that the other day for like a solid couple of minutes before I realized what I was doing.
Classic. I've kind of attempted to assemble I brought my spy gear with me,
Sure.
and as a part of that, I had a couple of fake concordant IDs with me. As a part of that, I've kind of just quietly pinned one to my clothing, just so it looks like I do fit in a bit more, even though I was escorted there by another individual. People in this room, I'm assuming, aren't really paying too much attention to that, and I'm trying to make it look like I definitely fit in.
You're being escorted by someone, so you can definitely, in that time, get that ID forged. No one's really paying attention. People have shit to do.
Perfect. And the person that escorts me in, they head off afterwards, I'm hoping?
Yeah, they were just showing you the door.
Perfect. Awesome. Once I'm in there, I start to look around as if I know what I'm doing, which to some extent I do recognize a lot of this technology, a lot of what's going on. The individuals, are they wearing any sort of breathing apparatuses or anything like that? I'm assuming not.
That they're just standard attire. You see maybe the occasional one is wearing rubber gloves, just to, if they're handling anything that might have static feedback.
I'd like to use some hacking tools and potentially set myself up at one of the potential computers or communication ports close by, not directly in their line of sight, but it's still in the room. And I'd like to try and set it up that I'm able to... I'm trying to key up a few things in sort of succession. One, I would like to make it so that a bit of a... the sort of system beeps and pings that happen every now and then. If I notice any of them currently happening in the room as they're going along, because it is a lot of technology and things like that, they probably have some audio-based statuses.
Yep, they'll have audible statuses, yep.
I try and line it up so that the second one goes off, I'm able to, as silently as possible, lock this room.
Okay.
So that no one can get in or out of it at this point in time.
Okay.
Would that be a hack roll? And does that increase with my hacking tools? Or due to my hacking tools?
I would say no, it doesn't increase your hacking. This allows you to do the hacking. So this is like, you've pried open a panel. Again, this is, there is some tech here, but it's more like electrical engineering as opposed to software engineering. So it's like, okay, I've got to connect this wire to that wire. I got the bits and bobs to help you do that.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
So specifically the outcome for this one you're trying to achieve is you're trying to lock down this room so no one can get in and out.
Correct, yes. Whether it's worth teeing it up ahead of time, my next objective would be to try and vent some of the oxygen from this room.
Okay.
I'm assuming I wouldn't be able to do it silently, but I'd try and attempt to lock down the room, vent the oxygen from this to mess with everyone in here. So would that be like 2 potential hackings, or?
No, we'll make it 1. Your goal here is to lock down the room and basically not the ventilation system, the system that's kind of designed to like put out fires and stuff if they occur by like evacuating all the oxygen from the room.
Yeah, more pump carbon dioxide in here rather than pumping in oxygen.
This went from chill to homicide real fucking quickly. Holy shit.
I'm going to say, though, because you're doing so much, either have a risky standard roll. No, let's make it desperate standard, because you are someone that these people don't know. You're dealing with tech that you've probably not had a chance to work greatly with, and you're doing a couple things. So this will be a desperate standard.
Okay. Question for the group, would it be fine for me to use the gambit on this, or does it still feel a bit too early for that in our plans?
No, this feels like a pretty good time to use it, honestly.
Yeah, this feels like it's a very pivotal moment to not fuck it up.
Okay.
So you're going a gambit?
I'm happy to go gambit, which makes it 2 dice rather than 1. And I'm happy also to push my luck if possible. If I'm able to stack them all up, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to push yourself, you definitely can. Mark your 2 stress and take an extra dice.
Yep, cool. So that puts me up at 3, including the gambit as well. Oh, okay. I'm actually nervous about this.
All right, so this is a desperate standard roll. You said you had 3 dice for this one. Give me a roll.
Okay, cool. I'm taking a picture of this.
All 1s, all 2s.
There is a 2 in there.
All 6s.
2 6s and a 2.
2 6s. Excellent. Do this with increased effect. So this now gives you greater effect out of this roll. You also get an XP. What did you do? Hack. So you gain XP and insight for performing a desperate roll.
Awesome. Sweet. Oh, also, wait, no, that wasn't risky. That was desperate.
That was desperate.
Okay, yep, sorry. I wasn't sure if we got a gambit back or not.
Now don't get better, you get XP.
Still good.
And of course, this is 2 6s, so this is increased effect. All right, you're working, you time it perfectly. Doors, these like barricade doors just flomp down very hard. There's like a red warning light just starts going off in this room. All the oxygen just gets sucked out of the room. I'm going to give you an extra 2 marks on your infiltration plan.
Sweet. That should put us at 5 out of 10.
As you see all these engineers start panicking, running for doors, banging on walls, and then starting to just basically grab their throats as they begin to suffocate.
Excellent.
With that as well, once it's all done, the system will kick off again. So once all the oxygen's left, it will take maybe 10 seconds, enough to basically wipe out any fires, and then it will return oxygen and open the doors again. Going to also tick along the rebels discovered, so we are at the halfway point, 6 of 12. This will send warning signs going off. Voel, you start to hear a commotion happening outside, people starting to rush and run because something's happening in the power area.
Has the power in here died?
Not yet. You wouldn't know this. There's no one monitoring the power at this point.
Yeah, okay, cool. How armored were the guards? Like, just clothes?
Not heavily. They were standard clothes, possibly bulletproof vests underneath, but they were holding rifles. They weren't armored to the teeth. These are standard officers like general police, doing a beat.
I looked at my drop bear friends. So, guys, I told you, I'm getting out of here. Do you have your ship still?
We don't know what happened to our ship. It could still be here.
Was it a big ship? Was it a good ship?
Dude, we're just collect resources. It's just a small ship. Family ship.
Are you guys good at anything?
Extract gas from the atmosphere of the major planet just there. These are the equivalent of gas farmers.
Fine. I'll convince my friends to let us help you. But I'm going to need some help from you guys, alright? I'm like 112% sure I can get these doors open. If I do, I'm going to need your help to take out was it 1 or 2 guards when they walked me in here?
2 guards.
And there are 3 drop bears?
There are 3 drop bears.
I'm going to need your help taking out the guards. So what I'm going to try and do, get the doors open, right? We're going to keep your door closed, and then you guys are going to call for help. One of you is, gotten bitten by a space arachnid or something. And then when they come in, they're like, oh no, drop bears, we're going to help you. They'll open the door, and then I'll spring and get the one at the back, and you guys spring and get the one at the front if more than one come in. Otherwise, you help me like wail on the one guy, and then we can all get out of here together.
You think you can do that? They're pretty capable.
Did you want to stay in here instead?
Yeah, that's a good point. We're in.
Otherwise, we can try and like sneak out. When they walked me in, did it look like we could try and like sneak past them?
You definitely know this area of the ship. You could probably find a way to sneak past.
It's a shame I suck at that.
But, you can also clobber a guard. That's always fun.
Clobbering time.
Yeah. Do I think... Oh, I don't know. No, never mind. I'm like, if I had my blaster pistol, they probably wouldn't have let me keep a weapon.
No, they definitely wouldn't let you keep a weapon. Again, you know the area. If you can get out, I would allow you to find a blaster pistol.
Okay, so guys.
Quick question while he's working on this. The alarms had gone off from what I'd done, yeah?
Yes. So that area, like, being ventilated would be a very high concern.
So I may have something that can help.
Yeah, definitely. Like, Voel, you do notice the commotion.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, guys, what we're going to do, I'm going to get us out of here, right? Koala buddies. I've got friends who are doing all this ruckus. They're great fun. One of them's a polar bear. He's like 8 feet tall. I have no idea how he snuck around the entire ship. It's impossible to miss the guy, but, whatever. He's managed it. We've also got like a doctor guy. I'm going aside. That's not the point. I'll get us out of here. We're going to get us some guns. We got some blaster pistols. I know where they are. I used to work here. Long story. And then we're going to like shoot him in the face. You guys don't mind a little bit of like nice like murder, right?
Murder. We're just simple harvesters. We're not going to murder anyone.
Oh no, fine. I'll set it to stun, so we only stun their face off. Am I lying?
You tell me.
Am I lying?
Are there lies in space? Is that possible?
Can people hear you lie in space? Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I could actually set it to stun. I wasn't sure if that was an option.
You can definitely lie to these people. Like,
oh, I meant more like, could I set it to stun? Am I making that bit up?
I would say in these ones, this is a military outfit. Though if you're getting a blaster from them, it's probably going to be lethal.
No, okay. Do they have like zappy sticks to stun a bitch, right?
They would definitely have stun batons.
And I would know where those are.
Definitely. It's in the next locker just to the guns.
That's the plan. We're going to get like the stabby sticks, right? And we're going to zippy zap them. No one's going to die, so you're not going to worry, okay? Change of plans. You guys didn't like murder. I get that. We're gonna zap them, and we're going to use that to get out of here.
Okay. Well, if you can do that, we'll follow your lead and...
Awesome. So I short my door. Or I attempt to short my door with the gear that I had, like a battery charger to like make a short on the electronic lock to make it disengage.
Okay, cool. So we're going to need a roll for that first.
Yeah.
That sounds to me... Will you tell me what roll you want to do for that one?
Given my understanding of like the mechanics of how these electronic locks work, I'm going to try and use assets from my repair tools. So like, look like the battery charger. Probably wouldn't have a welder on me. But like between the battery charger and a screwdriver to like unscrew it, open it up, get the cables to get into the actual locking mechanism, and then you short it so that it disengages. That's what I'm going to be trying to do.
I'm happy with that. Unfortunately, you don't have any gambits left. You can push yourself for 2 stress. I think this would be I'm going to say controlled standard. There's not a lot of pressure here at the moment to be sneaky because you are kind of alone. I can offer you a devil's bargain on this one. The bargain I'm going to give you is you can take the extra dice.
I'm intrigued.
But I think someone's going to walk in on you doing this.
Yeah, no.
And don't forget, this is a team effort, so if anyone wants to suggest devil's bargains, they definitely can. Don't feel like it's just me putting him out there.
Okay, well, yeah, let's make it dark. Let's say one of the koalas has to die.
Oh, Jesus, he jumped straight to it.
Jesus, I'll be like devil's bargain. I get an extra die, and then the guards are just gone and they're not there anymore.
I was going to say Voel dies, but yeah, you had to get dark about it.
Okay, now I won't go die. I'll say one of the Caxel gets a bit too close and they get stunned and paralyzed.
Irreparably paralyzed?
No, they can come back later, but someone's going to have to carry them out for now.
Okay, yep, I'm good with that.
If they're permanently paralyzed, can we make it 2 dice?
It's only 1, unfortunately.
If they get maimed, can we make it 3?
Well, I mean, he might make another roll soon, so, we can stack them later.
Okay, cool. So, I have my 2 die for Rig. I have my 1 for the devil's bargain. Do I take an extra die here? What do we think?
The only one you've got is an assist, and you don't have any gambits, so that's all the die you can get.
Could I not push myself? Or is that in place of the Devil's Bargain?
No, so it's in place of the devil. You can push yourself and take the 2 stress, or you can take the devil's bargain.
Oh yeah, it's push or devils.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I forgot that was instead of. Okay, never mind. Look,
So how are you doing for stress at the moment?
I have 4 left.
4 to go.
So I dropped the die. It was a 6, and I'm sad about it because I can't use that.
Oh. Why are your 6s always bad?
So, all right, I'm rolling. You ready? And big money.
The suspense is killing me.
Is he trying to count to 6?
Okay, so you don't have to count the dots on the die individually.
I don't want to talk about it, guys.
Oh.
Oh god, all those koalas are fucking dead.
What have you got, buddy?
So you know how Dush got 2 6s and a 2?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I got 2 2s and a 1. It's every time we play this game. That happened last time as well.
Yes, the 2 times we've played this game. That is 100%. That's fair.
That every time. It's accurate. Shut up.
Alrighty. You're trying to short this one. You think you get it. You short the lock. You've shorted it closed. The Caxel also gets shocked in this one as well. So it's kind of gone through all the locks in here and shocked them closed.
112% sure he can get it open too.
I was really hoping you wouldn't bring that up.
On the bright side, this is a controlled roll. So you're blocked till you falter. So you can press on by moving into a risky opportunity now, or you can withdraw and try a different approach.
Nah, let's do it again. Let's try again.
You can't use hack again. You'll need to pick a different skill.
Oh, I need to try something different.
Yes, so you need to approach this in a different way. So hacking did not work.
It was rig. It was rig.
So rigging did not work.
Doctorate.
If you've got, you can maybe try and do a scrap roll if you want to try and forcibly open it.
In a rage at having had failed so miserably and electrocuted the poor koala for no reason, I am going.
I was gonna say I'm also going to assist him.
You don't know this is happening.
I don't know this is happening. Oh yeah, there's something I was also trying to do after I dealt with my whole room, but I don't know whether timing-wise... I wouldn't have control over timing-wise or where that comes in here, would I?
It depends what you're trying to do.
So effectively, I was, after clearing that room, I was going to try and just pop the power to the entire brig by shorting it for 3 seconds so that everything in there died for 3 seconds. I'm assuming that... I'm happy to say that didn't come into play earlier, but I was going to say now, if that came into play, the other cells just open, but his and the Caxel's ones are easier to break open. Now that there's definitely no power surging through anything in those cells. Yeah, even though I technically can't time it, would that still count as an assist?
Okay, I'll allow it in this situation. By stupid luck, this is happening around the same time. So if you mark a stress arc, and then that'll give an extra die to Voel. Don't forget, if you can still push yourself Voel on this one, if you want to spend the extra 2 stress to get a die, or my original Devil's Bargain will be there in that someone walks in on you as you're doing this.
Yeah, no, I need to get these doors open. I just don't think I'll win the fight if it comes down to that. Now that we're a koala down. No, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to push myself with the 3rd die.
So I'm assuming there's a scrap roll we're trying for to forcibly force your way out?
Yeah, I'm angry at the fact that I've locked the door more, so I am just basically kicking the door.
Cool, so you can try to kick your lock open.
Yep.
This is again, we'll go control standard, so the rating hasn't changed. Give me a dice roll.
So I'm rolling 3 die here. 1 for scrap, 1 for the assist, and 1 for the push.
Watch him get 3 1s. Shit, he's gone silent again.
Fucking hate everything about this game.
Oh, come on.
What have we got, buddy?
I rolled a 5,
Well, that's good.
but I also rolled 2 1s.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. It's only the highest that matters.
Oh, thank God.
But unfortunately, in this situation, you hesitate, withdraw, and take a different approach.
Oh, bloody hell.
I just broke my ankle, that's all I did.
Or else do it with a minor consequence.
Give me the consequence. I just want this damn door open, that would be useful.
Another dead bear.
Oh, no.
No, let's give you some harm. I think a sprained ankle, a level 1 harm.
Level 1, harm, sprained ankle.
You've kicked this thing and just at that wrong space, it's kind of bent your angle, but it kicked open.
Ha! 112%.
So your door's unlocked.
Now, you guys do your door.
Are you just leaving them?
No, I'm gonna wait for them to open the door.
Cool. They are not able to do that.
Oh, God damn it. Can I try and kick their door open?
With the same leg?
With my other leg. Wait, am I able to try and do the whole short the door open again?
You go get the shocky thing, and I think get some stuff to get them out. That's not going to be a problem. I won't make you reroll that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, like I'll be back, boys. Don't worry.
And then never comes back.
And then I go to the door and like look around to see like what the go is.
There's people running around. The alarms are going. Don't seem to be noticed.
Anyone smoke my cigars?
Don't see them there.
All right, cool. I'm gonna try and get to the weapon lockers and try and get the zappy batons.
Yep, definitely. Mark it off your character sheet. Passcode has not changed since you've been here. 0002.
So common.
And you're able to get yourself a baton. So mark it on your character sheet.
Okay, that's all my gear. So you mark that in my item to load, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yep, done that. And I get enough for like my friends, and I'm like, I come back to them and like, also, can I just find the keys while I'm out there? Can I just find the keys for the cell?
Sure. Yeah, you just find some keys.
Yeah. And I just open it.
Yep, definitely.
Thank you.
It's one of those like double takes, right? You run out, grab the baton, run back in, pause for a second, come back. Oh, the keys are right there.
The keys were in reach. I didn't even need to do all of that. I could have just reached through my cell and grabbed it.
Yeah, they left them in the lock.
I just never bothered to look.
That's happened. Let's swing back around to Algernon. I'm also going to increase your infiltration clock to 6, so we are 4 segments away. In this time, the alarms start blaring. Lieutenant Rollman goes, all right, you with me, let's get you back to a safe location. This is a distressing call. He's going to walk you out and start walking you back towards the hangar.
Okay. So he's going to start walking me out. Where are we at the moment? So we're
You are going past the communication section.
let's say while we're still in the conspiracy room.
But there's also a bit of a panic as well. So the people are moving about.
Yeah, but in the conspiracy room, are we the only 2 people in now?
Yes.
And I assume it's usually like closed door.
This looks like it's just like general conference room.
Okay.
So anyone has access to it. It's kind of like, I don't want to say a situation room of sorts, but it's like they're just putting together thoughts and evidence. But it's not a restricted area.
Yeah. Not restricted, but not just visible through like, just like passing by the corridor. You actually have to go in, right?
Correct, yes. There's like maybe a little window, but you still need to go in.
Okay. Now, trying to think, and I'll put this forward to the group for a decision here. I'm thinking, is it worth potentially jumping the lieutenant now while we're alone, so that any sort of efforts to organize and mobilize the group, like the troops would be at best stunted? Or do I play along and still stay in Concordance good graces while we are on the search for the rebels?
I would say if you're able to disable the lieutenant more heavily than, oh, they can be easily woken up, or he'll be up in 5 minutes, then yes, like tying him up, stuffing him in something that'll make it hard to find him for a good half an hour, sort of disabling.
Yeah, no, I've got something in mind, yes.
Then if you've got something like that, then I'm all for it. Like, we need time to get out and then get to the rebels as best we can.
Yes, but keep in mind that right now, I, at the very least, and whoever's on my crew, don't see... I guess since Voel's breaking out, it's a moot point. We can't keep pretending that we're on this side anyway, right?
Well, they don't know that we're with Voel. Well, they may eventually find out that Voel's breaking out.
No, but if they see Voel trying to reboard our ship while we escape, that will give it away.
Then yes, yeah.
But also, your plan was that you guys were going to rescue Voel. At this point, you don't know he's escaped.
No, but either way, that would be part of our plan. So if we don't know this escaped, the next thing we'll be doing was be trying to break him out.
And actually, to be fair, all they did was tell Voel that they were going to rescue him. They never actually made a plan to do it.
No, we had a plan. We'll wait until the power's out. But yeah.
Yeah. They were just going to leave him there.
So I guess like that's the other thing, right? Because like the power went out, and I'm just, like, it's gone a bit quicker than I expected. I'm under the impression that we need to head towards Voel to help break him out while we've got time. So
I'll just correct you there. The power has not out. Oh, sorry, no, it has. It was shorted. No, correct. Yes, it blipped for a bit. Sorry, yes.
It blipped for about 3 to 5 seconds was...
yeah, so the fact that it's been shorting means that he's at least attempted to start doing it, so...
And I would have communicated that as well.
Yes.
On the earpiece, that I was doing that.
Correct. Yes. Sorry.
So, yeah, given all that, I'll say that, yeah, we're going to spring the action to break Voel out and head to the ship. So the charade is up, whether he realizes it or not. What I'm going to do, what Kentucky is going to do.
And also, the communication center is right there as well.
Yes. What's your point?
To stop communications.
So I thought that was part of the like what he was doing with the power, but if not, then yeah, I'll take a wrench to that on the way out. Sure.
Yeah, I ended up going for power generation more so than communications. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll see what I can do with the communicator on the way out too.
You can also call the other Vipers home.
You could. Might make getting out harder. Well, actually, no, because they've got different bays, right? They won't come to the same one.
They do. On your way in, you will see they don't actually go into the landing bay. They have ports on the side of the ship that they attach to, so they are always ready. But yes, you could call them back, which means they would attach themselves, and then their pilots would be inside the frigate.
Here's what I'm going to do for the start at least. As the lieutenant starts to walk towards the door, heading out of the conference room, Kentucky's going to grab a syringe, which apparently can be palmed quite easily by definition. And I'm going to say that, I usually just have at least one syringe on hand with some powerful anesthetic.
I'm happy with that. Mark it on your character sheet.
Yep, so I've got syringes and applicators on my character sheet now.
I generally thought you were going to just pump oxygen in the syringe and just give him an embolism right then and there.
Jesus! He's not one of the drop bears, dude. He's a human.
I'm so glad you...
What? Hang on a minute, you xenophobic fuck.
You can't hear this.
You stay back in prison.
I mean, it depends. Has Voel put his headset back in?
Yeah, I got my
Communicator back on?
communicator back in. I'm hearing this shit.
That's so human of him.
No, we specifically did not give you a communicator because I feel like if they took one off you, then they'd get wise.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's smart, yeah.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I rig one together to make my point.
Okay. No, yeah, so just some powerful anesthetic that I'm just going to take him by surprise into the neck and knock him out cold, and I'll just drag his body like further into the conference room so you can't like see it straight away, like under a table or something like that. I'm going to check his pockets, or just check his person, see if there's anything that I could find that might be useful to my
Pocket sand.
to my immediate concerns, like there's an access pass.
First, let's get an action roll for drugging him or injecting him.
Oh, yeah, right. It doesn't just happen, does it? Oh.
No, because, yeah, great, you've got a needle, but can you get it into him, is the question.
Oh, boy, can I. All right.
And the needle, too.
I'm going to push myself.
What skill are we looking at rolling first?
Oh, it's Doctor Roll for sure.
Doctor roll? Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to say we'll go risky standard.
Yeah.
Or if you'd like to push that up, you can go desperate and greater.
Yeah, you know what? We have not gone with enough risk today. Let's do it. Let's make this desperate.
I love it. This is a desperate. You're going to get a greater result out of this. Doctor roll. Wanted to add some extra dice, I hear.
Yes, so I've got 2 with Doctor. I'm going to push myself, add 2 stress to give myself another dice to make that 3. We don't have any gambits left, and I don't believe I can be assisted in any way, so that is as high as we're getting it.
Sounds good to me. Give me a roll.
And we got a 6.
Hell yeah.
Just 1 6.
1 6 only.
It's never good enough for you.
We'll take to please you.
Wanting more.
First off, mark an experience into insight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you knock this guy out. The dosage, you perfected it to the milliliter. It knocks him straight the fuck out, and you think he's going to be out for a long time.
Thank God he was like of average size, like in every single way.
Completely average in everything.
Yeah, like the exact same size as like like the training dummy. It's uncanny.
You do that, you drag him over the side.
Oh, sorry. Very important that I say, relax, I'm a doctor as I do it. Just whisper it in his ear.
Get right up close, whisper into his ear, relax, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
You lick his ear as he goes down.
Least of his concerns, to be fair.
Calls him Jim, even though that's not his first name. Relax, Jim, I'm a doctor.
Ugh. You made it less fun.
For you, maybe.
You tell me, what would you like to get out of him? I would say definitely he's got an access card that'll get you into many places.
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably good. Is there a weapon on him?
There's a blaster pistol on him and a shock stick.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, even if I did already have them, I will take them off him anyway, so I'll add that to my load, I guess. Melee weapon and blaster.
And he definitely has a portable walkie-talkie like thing as well.
Okay, so I can, like a communicator that can I can hear them talk to each other as well.
Listening to it, you can hear the communications coming from the Viper squad, confirming that all targets have been neutralized.
Okay, I'm going to grab the radio and say, in my pretty average impression of this lieutenant, I'll say, excellent work, squad. Come back to base. Come back to the frigate.
I'm going to increase your infiltration plan clock by 2. We are up to 8 of 10, and I've increased the rebels 1 for passage of time, which is currently sitting at 7 of 12. So the ship is getting closer to finding the Centennial Hawk.
Okay, well, since we're right next to the communications room, that'll be so the comms. Are the people there?
There is a couple people there, but there are a few kind of preparing evac or emergency responses.
Okay, all right.
There is 3 people dedicated on comms.
Okay, so I come out of the conference room. I head to the comms room. I say in the most authoritative voice I can muster, we all need to make it to the bridge immediately. There is something going wrong with power generation, and the lieutenants asked me to send as many people to the bridge as possible.
I think this is definitely going to be an action roll as well.
God damn it. Why can't they just listen to me?
You didn't say relax, I'm a doctor, that's why.
That's why I can't roll doctor this time. Okay, it's going to have to be a sway. Thankfully, I only do these 2 things.
I will give you a controlled standard roll for this one.
Yep.
If you want to trade in effects, you can make it a risky great.
No, that's okay. I think I'll leave it as is. I think even if I can get one of them out, I can shoot the other 2. So, I mean, that would be what I resort to first, but...
I'll give you this one. If you do controlled standard, you'll clear out the people in comms. If you do a risky great, I will let you clear out pretty much everyone in the near vicinity.
I'll stick with the standard then.
So controlled standard?
Control standard. I got 2 in sway.
You want to push yourself.
Yeah. I've got...
And don't forget, if anyone wants to offer up a devil's bargain, if ideas for devil's bargains, please do so.
Him messing with the communications kills a caxel in the other room.
Him fucking with the communications locks the door behind him.
I'll give you an extra dice, but I get to mark 3 segments off the Rebels Get Discovered clock. They get a signal pinging on the displays.
Okay, but question, if I then mess with the comms...
Well, you have to see if you can get them out of the room first.
Well, sorry, if I successfully get them out of the room and then successfully mess with the comms, does that bring that clock back down?
It doesn't bring it down, it will stop it from going up. This clock is representing the freighter moving through the asteroid field, scanning different parts of asteroids. So it's physically getting closer to where the Centennial Hawk is.
Yeah, okay.
So while they can't discover them less, they can just be slowed to a stop effectively.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or you're stopping their scanners from continuing on. But if you fail to roll, that's 3 extra marks on the clock.
Leaving us with 2 left. I don't know what you reckon, guys. Is that worth the risk? I know we've already said big balls all the way, but is that situational or are we just indiscriminate?
I mean, I'm assuming what you're doing there is to try and effectively stop them as well, right? So just assuming...
If I can get them out here, it'll be a lot easier for me to sabotage the comms without getting interrupted or have to fight my way out. But, if it goes wrong, I could still take a couple of pot shots and then just start whacking the thing.
In a controlled situation, you'll have less complications coming out of it if you do go roll bad. I'll also counterpoint this one. If you do want to bump it up to risky, I'll bring that devil's bargain down to 2 points instead of 3.
I'm going to jinx it by saying you succeed at everything you do anyway, so do it.
That's true. I've been rolling very well, but that is why I'm so worried now. Because it's bound to happen.
I believe.
Yeah, I will add to that by saying you were not Lexi, so you will definitely not fail hard enough for it to really be a worry.
Yeah, you're going to roll 3 dice and get 4 6s.
You've jinxed it now. But okay, you know what? I'm going to take that devil's bargain on the condition that we trade it up to risky. Because that way I can get a better benefit anyway. If I succeed, make it even easier.
Get us that gambit.
Excellent. All right, so I'm going to bump that up to 9 of 12 segments. And this is a risky great roll.
Big money.
You got this?
Devil's bargain, was it?
Oh.
Yep.
So I can't push myself as well.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, well. Rolling a lot of dice really helps.
Usually does.
Unless you're Lexi, but yes.
Yeah, the other two were not great, but I do still have a 5.
So you got a 5.
Got a 5. These dice are doing very well for me today.
So we don't gain a gambit. You do it, but there is a consequence. You're going to suffer harm. A complication is going to occur. You are able to clear out basically this whole floor, convincing them to go up to the bridge. They all evacuate.
Damn, I'm good.
I want you to know I hate you. I'm glad you're doing well, but I hate you.
I'm okay with both of those things.
Let's introduce a complication. I think this complication, you're swept up in that evacuation.
Oh, like physically swept up?
Physically swept up, and you are now on your way to the bridge.
Fucking hell. Okay, Jesus.
So you're kind of like crammed, packed in one of those like elevator pods going up to the bridge.
You're like a sardine in a school of sardines. You just can't, you're stuck. Just keep swimming.
Okay.
So let's cut from there to Ark. Time passes, oxygen returns to the room. You see all these bodies are passed out on the floor. Doors open up.
When the oxygen cut out, I was scrambling to change my clothes with a couple of the engineers in here because I am assuming none of them are 8 feet tall jaguars. I don't know how to pronounce it either. So I'm going to attempt to switch my clothes with them effectively so I seem like I fit in.
It's not a flashback, we'll say it just is just you happening in that space. And yeah, you find the largest person there is like a 6'4" human. I'm assuming you're putting this on. It's kind of like those fluffy dolls, so it's like very tight fitting, and then you got just fur pointing out of the edges.
Oh yeah, there's muffin top everywhere. Yeah. And alongside that, I was kind of like ham-fistedly trying to hack the panel in the brig, trying to shut off the power to their area. At that point, I managed to shut off it for roughly 3 to 5 seconds at one point in time, which is when that happened.
Cool. What are you doing now?
After that, I'm back on the comms, hoping that I've let out Voel or just to see what everyone else is up to. And I just keep going, does anyone have any sort of schematics or anything for this place? Because I need to find my way out, the hell out of here. And I'm also hoping to kind of hide a detonator. And I want to jerry-rig that to some of the wires and things like that in the room.
Ooh, okay, cool. So comms, do the comms first. Vol doesn't have a communicator, so this will be probably communicating Algernon. You would probably hear this, and then Triv and Trell.
Yeah. If any of them know how to get from the power generation back towards the landing gear or anything about this area of the ship.
Triv responds to you and is like, okay, give us a second. Trell's just looking it up. And he relays you some information.
So with that, I'm going to wire it up so that the third time this room's doors close, it will detonate. So it kind of counts down 3, 2, 1 based on every time the doors close. Actually, I'll set it for 4 times.
And is this our calling card that you're setting up?
Yes, yeah.
You're in control. This would be a controlled greater effect.
Is it fair to still make this a hack roll?
Certainly can. It's up to you. You tell me which one you're rolling.
I'm thinking since I'm still messing with the electronics and things like that, hacking makes the most sense.
Yeah, certainly. So you're hacking it into the control system that control the doors. Yep, certainly. I was going to say, I can give you a devil's bargain.
Ooh. What would it be?
I'm going to give you level 1 harm shocked. So kind of like a little bit of static shock.
Yeah, I'll take that. And that gives me a second dice.
It gives you an extra dice, yep.
Sorry, so what's the what are you rolling for precisely?
I'm trying to wire the detonator to the doors so that after the 4th time they close, not 3rd, sorry, 4th time they close, it will detonate.
Okay, alright.
And blow this power room. Hopefully, because it's quite a powerful thing, yeah.
I send thoughts and prayers.
That minuses 1 dice, right?
Yeah.
Makes me feel better.
I rolled a 3 and a 4.
3 and a 4, okay, cool. So you hesitate. You can withdraw and try a different approach, or you can take a minor consequence. So either a minor complication occurs, we have reduced effect, we could bump that harm we've just taken up to a level 2 harm.
I'll bump the harm.
Bump the harm? Just put electric shock under a level 2.
Electric shock.
All of Sam's cursing my koala friends got the polar bear.
I mean, I couldn't roll hot forever, so...
It is hooked up. I've got a clock there for the door detonator with 4 segments on it.
Oh, cool. And in my disguise, I am going to open the doors once, and using my special ability, I'm going to use kinetics. Ooh. Okay, so question on this. What happens when I max out my stress?
So when you mark your last stress box, you're going to suffer a level of trauma.
Mhm.
When you suffer that trauma, you will be taken out of action for the remainder of the job.
When I suffer a trauma, I'm taken out. For context, since I'm currently quite separated from the rest of the team, taken out for the rest of the job would mean potentially being lost.
No. So you do come back later on, maybe shaken, drained. So behind the scenes, you go on a mini adventure and come back. So, but what will happen is in this case, there's a good potential here that you get left behind. Maybe you just have to pretend to be one of the crew until you can get back to the Coyfish.
For now, then I won't use my special ability.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, considering we're probably getting to the end of the job anyway.
Well, I'm thinking I might save it for a little closer to when we're about to go, so that maybe...
Sure.
Cool, yeah, I'm going to try and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, you book it, you know the directions to go. You said you open the door and that's closing that door once?
That's once, yep. So that me leaving that room is once that it's opened and then closed.
One set of doors.
As I'm making my way to the landing bay, I'm going to sort of attune to the way and kind of see if I can sense any sort of upcoming danger down the corridors, trying to kind of avoid or rush past someone or trying to get past, or don't be noticed, I guess, by potential guards heading that way. Hide in a corridor, hide in a bulkhead, something, just...
Well, I think in this one, everyone's running around anyway.
Mm-hmm. So could I use attune to just kind of sense if there is an immediate danger heading at me for me to just quickly divert?
Yeah, I'll say, yeah, you're doing that as we go. I won't make you roll for this one. You're making your way using the way to kind of sense, okay, there's a big bunch of people rushing in one direction. I'm going to go this other direction kind of thing.
Yep.
And you make it way back to the Coyfish.
Excellent.
Triv and Trail are still on the ship. Would you want to start the prep for departing?
Yeah, I'll start trying to prep the ship with them while not having any sort of powers or skill in helm. I'm sort of still an all-rounder to help them out, get the rest of it ready.
Let's go back around to Voel. You've got these Caxel out. Someone's carrying the paralyzed one.
Yep, I'm limping.
You're limping.
Well, yeah, because I've got a sprained ankle. My foot hurts because I kicked the door.
What are you up to?
Our goal right now is to get back to the Coyfish. That is our entire goal. I'm also going to try and find a means to communicate, but I figure if I get back to the Coyfish, I can just let them know through my communicator on the ship, hey, I'm here. Don't save me.
Cool.
So yeah, that's my focus, and I'm also trying to get the koala buddies with me.
How are you trying to do this? Are you trying to bolt for it? Are you trying to be sneaky?
At this stage, we're just going. If I can find some flavor of vehicle to commandeer to, make it a little bit easier, if they have, like little buggy carts or whatever to navigate the big ship. Think like Austin Powers.
I would say not a buggy cart, maybe one of those hydraulic pallet lifters.
Would that even be faster?
Probably not, but you can put people on it and then push and go.
I guess kind of, yeah, because we have a cripple.
Caxels have little feet.
Yeah, we'll put the koalas on there, and I'll be like, all right, boys, and we're gonna use that. And we're gonna push them along. We're just gonna book it. Like, there is no sneaking. We're just hope people are too busy to notice what I'm doing.
This is kind of sound like a scramble roll to me.
Yo, yeah, scramble all day. Guess how many dice I have in scramble?
So many.
All of them. Yeah.
You have 0.
That I do.
You can spend 2 points here to push yourself, which will put your stress at max, and then fun things can happen.
Yeah, no, I'm right. Just abandon the koalas.
They might survive.
No, I'm committed. I'm committed.
All right. I had some really fun things if you did.
Oh, no, I feel bad, but I don't want to abandon the koala.
When you're taken out of the game, you do come back. Will probably come back pretty quickly. So, you'll be back in downtime. But on the bright side, you clear all your strengths. No stress.
And you come back with a slightly severed arm that's been, replaced with a koala arm.
Yeah, but I wanted to try and steal one of the Vipers before we left.
Are you going for your ship or are you going for the Vipers? Because they are in different locations.
Yeah, never mind. I'll be going for my ship. Well, yeah, because is there a reason to push myself if all it's gonna do is just make me disappear?
It's gonna give you extra dice. Honestly, a success, at least the Caxels will survive and get there.
Oh, ooh. Okay then. Yeah, in that case, I will.
I love that. This will max out your stress and take you out of the job. On a success, the Caxel will make it to your ship. Do you have any extra dice to add to this in any way?
No.
We don't have any gambits. Okay, I'm going to say this would be a desperate standard roll.
Just quickly, does anyone think he's going to roll higher than a 3?
No.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
So, how many dice am I rolling here?
You have 1 dice.
I have 1 die.
Oh yeah, this will be the one. This will definitely be the one.
You've got nothing in scramble. You're taking the push yourself, so it'll give you 1 dice.
He's going to trip and somehow shoot himself in the foot.
And a caxel.
The alternative, you don't push yourself, you'll be rolling 2 dice and taking the lowest.
All right, 1 in 6, baby. 1 in 6 for the koalas. Yes, 6.
Finally.
I rolled a 6 for the koalas. It was worth it.
Lex, you are an ace frickin' pilot. And what's a pallet mover than just a plane that doesn't have wings and goes on the ground? You're able to find like a ramp, you rocket it down, get to the Coyfish, you kind of do that skid scramble, the cacks will kind of tumble off, and they make their way up into the Coyfish. As you step towards the door of the Coyfish, a talon grabs your back and pulls you towards them and says to you, well, if I didn't believe it with my own eyes, it looks like the hatchling came back. And this is a familiar voice to you. This is your cousin, Mav.
Oh, shit. Mav?
Your cousin and old commanding officer / mentor, Mav.
God damn it.
She escorts you away to a different section of the ship, and she's like, you're coming with me. And Voel has exited the scene.
As I get pulled away, all you guys hear...
Ark, you can probably see this, maybe, but you're getting shit set up, and I'm going to make a quick luck roll.
Say that again, sorry?
I'm just making a luck roll. That's a fail, so that's 1 more on the door.
Mhm.
Someone has opened and closed the door.
As I saw that other Avali kind of approaching Vol, I would have kind of set myself up at the back with 2 blaster pistols pointing at them. But seeing this interaction, I kind of realized I'd ended up shooting Vol in the face. Most likely by accident.
And you also see the Caxels coming in as well.
Yeah. I kind of end up just choosing to keep them safe and avoid the fight.
Oh, fucking Jedi just lets me die. What the fuck?
It is the way.
Algernon, you are ushered out of the lift into the...
Oh god, I forgot about this.
I forgot this.
Into the bridge. There is a lot of confused people here, and you see a commanding officer just like stand up and address everyone. It's like, people, keep calm. We need to safely coordinate and move you back to safer locations. We can't have you all up here in the bridge. And it looks like it's getting in the way of maneuvering the ship at this point. What are you doing?
I'm going to start whispering to different people in my proximity, sowing seeds of panic. I'm going to be saying to one person that this commanding officer only got his job from nepotism, and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't know the first thing about, a proper evacuation. I'm going to go speak to another one and say, I heard that power outage messed with our oxygen. I reckon we've got about 2 hours until we all start suffocating. Yeah, I'm just going to be just doing these little things and just whispering to a few people, and I just want the Chinese whispers to kind of, because I can't fucking move. And if I'm going to get crushed to death, I might as well still complete my fucking mission.
For anyone that's not Australian, he means telephone.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
I did
yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only called that. It's only called that here.
Is it actually? Oh, yeah, telephone is what it's called. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only called that here.
Good catch. Telephone. I will be sure to use that in the future. Sorry for any...
Come on, man. It's 29,327. You can't say stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, it's whatever. I apologize to all of our imaginary overseas listeners.
There's at least one of them.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
I think this is definitely an action roll to spread these rumors around. I'm happy for it to be Sway again.
I'm also happy for Bridge Sway again.
I'm going to give you Risky Great. Actually, no, I'll give you Controlled Great.
Okay, Control Great works well for me then. I'm just going to go with the 2 dice. We're near the end of the job, actually. I might as well just push it. Let's push it.
That's what I love to hear.
3 dice, and got a 5.
Got a 5. All right.
I hate you.
I've not rolled below 3 dice this entire time, to be fair. I've literally been going between my 2 skills that I have 2 dice in.
Because I think it's hilarious, we're going to give you another minor complication.
Oh yeah.
In your previous one, your minor complication was that you whisked up with the crowd to the bridge. The whispers start spreading. We don't have much oxygen. Oh, he's fully incompetent. What do you mean there's not enough escape pods for everybody? And there's a panic that brews out. And everyone starts rushing for escape pods. And I think you're whiffed up in that and hurried along with the crowd. But it is heading towards the lower decks, towards where the Coyfish would be.
Okay, so just to reiterate, I may have completely fucked up in trying to destroy the communications, but I have somehow succeeded by getting everyone off the damn ship.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, excellent. I'm going to obviously try my best to not get whisked into an escape pod, but when we get close to the Coyfish, I will break away from the crowd and head towards the entrance.
I think you get down there, you break away, you get into the Coyfish. You are now reunited with Triv, Trell, Ark, and 3 additional Caxels, but no Voel.
Okay.
I quickly explain what I saw as I saw Voel get taken off by someone that looked very similar to them, but not that similar, just the same species, really.
It's 29,327, boys.
Oh my god. Do we even need a rescue?
I would say you would probably... It was a person that did look very similar to Voel, except where Voel has that kind of chromatic flight feathers, this person had brown flight feathers, so a female version of the species. That still looked very similar to Voel.
Okay, so yeah, Kentucky obviously hears this information from Mark and says he was taken. Well, what do? We can't leave without him. Where did he go? What direction was he pulled?
I mean, I just point off in the direction that they were pulled. Was it, I guess, one of the corridors that we got pulled down, or completely different again?
Not quite sure. It was a different corridor, but there's a bit of commotion. Like as this is happening, a flood of people now pouring down in through this bay.
Yeah, if the cargo bay is very much starting to fill up, we kind of got to use this opportunity to get the hell out of here as well.
And I'm also going to mark an extra segment on the door detonator as people start leaving and scramble around to get other people. The door detonator is at 3 of 4 marks.
I tell Trev, I'm like, I don't know when the hell it's going to go off, but at some point this ship's going to lose quite a bit of pressure and people are going to start losing their shit. So we got to be ready with oxygen and to get the hell out of here while the place might be plummeting. So just a heads up.
All noted, but we can't come back. If we leave now, we're leaving for good. We can just hope that Voel makes his way out somehow.
You start to see little escape pods are starting to jettison themselves from the frigate. Just these big round balls just shooting off into space.
Well, they seem to know Voel, so I'm assuming whoever it was might try and keep him safe, take him somewhere else.
I look back out to like the docking area, seeing all these people panicked and escaping, and obviously you're mentioning about the sudden pressure shift that's bound to happen any moment now. I just let out a deep sigh, unable to see Voel after one last check. I just say, alright, wheels up, let's get out of here.
Voel will remember this.
If Voel lives. Voel's dead in our eyes. But yeah.
Trev jumps in the pilot seat. You see him flipping the switches, the engines rev up, door closes. I think you usher these new Caxels to some space safe. I think one of them's attending their paralyzed friend.
I'll go look over the paralyzed friend. That's fine.
And with that, we exit out of the CCF Osprey as the last of the escape pods are jettisoned, and then just a massive explosion happens, and you hear the bound of it happening. From the debris that's being flung up, we see a picture of a flopping Coyfish dancing from side to side.
But it now has 5 frames a second compared to the 2 from last time.
With that, you have a means of tracking the Centennial Hawk, and you see it up on your scanners. A trail of radiation leakage, which leads you to this very large asteroid, and inside the crevice is the Centennial Hawk. And that's where we're going to leave off this episode.
We only lost one team member.
And it was no one important, thank God. Just the pilot.
I hope the ship explodes with you on it.
You don't get to hope, Lexi. You're dead.
And I made sure the ship exploded.
He's not dead.
I'm not dead. I'm just being re-indoctrinated.
Lex, we'll catch up at some point and talk about your trauma that you're about to go through.
Yes, I am the bad guy now. I am Darth Voel.
Let's wrap up with some experience points. Everyone has their own dedicated playbook advancement question.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
So for Ark,
Yes.
for this session, did you address a tough challenge with wisdom or the way?
I'd say wisdom more than the way. I used the way to kind of get out, but I used wisdom to kind of like get all those engineers, dispose of them, so to speak, just to make sure that I could do what I needed to do.
I'll take that. Feel free to mark an experience point into one of your experience tracks. Algernon, did you address a tough challenge with speed or flair?
I believe that'd be Voel.
Sorry? No, that's Voel. Sorry, that is Voel.
So was that my question?
That is your question.
Yes, the glorious rescue of the koala bears on my pallet jack of destiny.
I love it. Take an experience point in one of your tracks. This one's Algernon. Did you trust a tough challenge with insight or compassion?
Compassion. Probably not the latter. Insight? I mean, playing on people's fears required me to have some insight, right? I don't know.
That's true.
Definitely not compassion.
You don't have to mark it. Don't forget, we've only done just the job, so you can mark them in future sessions. And there's still 2 more questions to ask.
Yeah, no, I don't. Definitely not compassion. Insight, I'm not too sure. I don't think so.
All right, let's go no for that one. Now, for all of you, did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Yes, when I got kidnapped by my cousin and ex-commanding officer.
That's one way to express your heritage or background.
I'll take it.
Background. I'm pretty sure I picked Syndicate for background, didn't I?
Yes, your background is a syndicate.
Yeah, no, definitely Syndicate. Yeah, that was pretty shady shit.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Yeah, mark an XP. And for Ark?
Yes, definitely. I used my background as a labourer to try and find someone to consort with to get me to the power generation room.
Go for it, go ahead, mark it. And last character question is, did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas during this session?
Yes.
Vol's about to gain a trauma, so he might be able to gain experience in the future for it.
I was so on the fence as well about, do I just take the stress and get the trauma? But it was more, I get knocked out of the scene that early on, so I was like, I might do it later if I really need to, but...
It's an interesting take. I think everyone really dove in with the taking the stress points this session.
Oh yeah, yes. We held back a lot less.
Oh yeah.
Well, I also started off with 4, so...
I started with 2 and I ended up with 2 remaining after having 2. You know what I mean.
I am going to come back as a vengeful ghost and leave you on an asteroid.
Careful, he's got your ship.
What do you mean his ship?
And you'll finally be able to fly.
Little tiny bit.
I will yeet you with the way.
Let's quickly do your crew experience as well. Did you execute a successful job that opposes the Concordant?
Does this count as a full job if we did kind of like a pre-job to the next job?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Well, the job was to locate and find the Centennial Hawk,
Oh, to locate them, yes.
which you did.
Then 100%, yeah.
Very successful. Very against the Concordant.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to mark an extra crew XP. Did you contend with challenges above your current station?
Yeah, it was a frigate, right? Like, it was actually well above a pay grade, I think.
A frigate full of people and the 3 of us pulled it off.
Oh, yeah. That was impressive.
Next one. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
I don't think anyone knows it was us, so probably not, right?
Well, aside for the Coyfish actually going off.
Well,
Oh, actually, no, because we did the calling card at the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did the calling card at the end. Yeah, of course. Oh, shit.
Your crew reputation is unpredictable.
Yeah, okay. We really lucked out when we picked that one, eh?
Yeah, we're just insane.
I mean, maybe we're just really, really good with foresight because obviously that's...
We went from stealing like a little space rock to taking on a frigate.
Yeah.
And exploding it.
And exploding it, yeah.
We know ourselves way too well.
I'm going to say yes to that one. We'll give you the XP for it.
Yeah.
And lastly, Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
The goals and drives of the crew.
We lost Voel, so hell yeah.
I don't think we've seen the outcome for that just yet.
I don't know if the crew really has conformed drives just yet. Like, we were very much just like collectively.
I don't think it's formed yet. Correct.
I don't think I can say yeah. Yeah.
So that's no. You're very close to gaining a crew ability.
Cool.
And we could decide it without Voel.
We'll see what happens next section. You join back up for the next Dark Cosmos. Dark Cosmos is a placeholder NPCs podcast. With Algernon Blue, aka Kentucky, as played by Sam, Ark Ferris, aka Rook, as played by Deshawn, Voel Burung, aka Demon, as played by Lex, and the role of Game Master as played by Xeno. Music and sound effects are provided by FestlianStudios.com and Zapsplat.com, with additional music by Ordonian's Music from the freemusicarchive.com. If you're enjoying the podcast, please give us a like, share it on your socials, and why not drop a comment to let us know what you're enjoying most. And on behalf of everyone here, you have our sincere gratitude for taking the time to enjoy our podcast.